Chapter 102 An Expert at Picking Up Girls. Chapter 102 An Expert at Picking Up Girls. It was not escaping from the fierce tiger tribe. They had to leave. Calm and unperturbed, he was as relaxed as a commander inspecting an army. The fierce tiger tribe warriors were completely blocked. Everywhere Long Fei went, a wolf howled as if it was paying its respects to him. How cool! What an amazing feat! In the past, when his father came to this place, he escaped in a sorry state. To be able to walk out of the fierce tiger tribe calmly, he was the first human to have done so in the history of the demon territory. Xiao Wudi raged. As he watched Long Fei leisurely walk out of the clan, the anger in his heart burned non-stop. But it was completely useless. He couldn't break free at all. Long Fei stood at the entrance of the fierce tiger village and turned his head to look at the tiger on the gate, his fists clenched. I will definitely return. Xiao Bai, let's retreat. Xiao Bai nodded and said, understood. A wolf howled. Long Fei rode on top of a flaming wolf, and the wolf pack madly rushed into the forest, disappearing in half a minute. Fierce tiger tribe. Xiao Wudi's hair was in disarray, her expression was a little sorry, her eyes were filled with anger. She leapt onto the altar and shouted, you all saw what happened just now. Humans are bullying us to the point of bullying us. What do we do? Their voices shook the heavens, resonating with each other in the hearts of the demons. Long Fei's appearance caused them all to feel extremely displeased. The matter from 16 years ago had repeated itself, and it was not enough to insult him once, but there was still the possibility of doing it once more. And father and son at that. Kill, 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 kill. Everyone shouted, and their fighting strength soared to the sky. Xiao Wudi clenched his fists tightly, causing all the demons in the plaza to become quiet, as they all looked at him. Xiao Wudi said solemnly, it's time for them to know how powerful we demons are. All demon soldiers, gather within 3 days. Target, Long's army. This time. I want to slaughter the Long family's army. Kill, kill, kill. This was because Long Fei's appearance caused the evil demon to be enraged, and the anger in their hearts to be ignited. Under Xiao Wudi's order, they all stood up to support him. These years. They had always been cowering inside the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains, and their hearts were filled with rage. This time. They were going to kill him. Following that, the entire demon territory began to frantically prepare, 100,000 demon soldiers quickly gathering. With regards to this matter, the 50,000 soldiers stationed in Wolong Valley were completely unaware. The demons had been silent for so many years, and the Long family had also let down their guard. Who would have thought that the demons would organize an army and prepare to attack? 3 days. Xiao Wudi did not stay idle. Instead, he brought a group of elite fierce tiger warriors and charged into the forest. Within 3 days, he wanted Long Fei's life. Hang his head on the evil demon flag. Use Long Fei's blood sacrifice battle flag. Long Fei, within 3 days, I will take your dog life. Kill. Roar. Xiao Wudi transformed into a 2-meter-tall black ferocious tiger and charged into the forest. Behind him, 8 War Chief Realm elite warriors transformed into tiger behind him as well. And then there was Long Fei. After escaping from the fierce tiger tribe, he quickly charged forward. Several hours later. Long Fei and the pack of flame wolves stopped. Long Fei looked at the female wolf and said, thank you. Here, I assure you, I will absolutely not kill a flame wolf. The female wolf completely ignored Long Fei, and looked at him lovingly, her eyes filled with ambiguity. Xiao Bai said impatiently, hurry up and go, your clansmen are waiting for you. Woo woo woo. The she-wolf whispered. Xiao Bai replied, got it, I will take care of myself. My master is very powerful, there's no need for you to protect him. Aya. Why are you so long-winded? This isn't like when we first met. At that time, you were so obedient, so docile, and so obedient. If you continue to be like this, I'll get angry. Xiao Bai male chauvinism said. The female wolf immediately revealed a gentle expression. Xiao Bai said, quickly leave, I will remember you. The female wolf looked at Xiao Bai, her eyes filled with reluctance, and even cried. She turned her head in 3 steps, and in 5 steps she turned around. Finally, the female wolf howled and dived into the forest. Awoo! The pack of wolves roared in unison as they saluted their king, Xiao Bai. And then, he quickly entered the forest and disappeared. Long Fei stared at Xiao Bai, feeling greatly surprised, and said, Xiao Bai, I didn't think you would have such skills, an expert at picking up girls. Xiao Bai said complacently, Of course, who am I? I am a divine beast after all. If my divine beast aura is to fall upon someone, that person can fall upon that person as he pleases. If anyone dares to disapprove, then I will use a forceful method. Actually, women are very simple. After taking off her clothes and entering her body, everything has been resolved. How could they have the time to cultivate such feelings? Cultivating feelings is a waste of time. We're all adults, so be direct, okay? If it's okay, go ahead. If it's not, get lost. Master, I'm not talking about you. Huh? Master, what are you looking for? Hey, hey, hey. Why did you flip me over? Ah. That's my number 2. Long Fei turned Xiao Bai over, his 2 fingers tapping on the air, and heavily hitting Xiao Bai's number 2. You guys didn't even get a hair on you, telling me you were courting girls? Little guy, you're still trying to seduce a girl? You're just trying to seduce that fire wolf, that's why it was fooled by you. Why aren't you cherishing it? You're still bragging to me about this. Bang, bang. Long Fei flicked his 2 fingers and flicked them. Do you still dare to? Xiao Bai screamed miserably in pain, begging for mercy. I won't dare anymore. Long Fei heavily bounced down. Do you still dare to mess with me? Master, how did I mess with you? I didn't. Xiao Bai said innocently. Long Fei's eyes became angry, and he said, Bullsh*T, you're spitting shit again, and you dare not say you're not playing with me. You've lost all your face. I really didn't do it. I really wanted to use a powerful technique, but I was unable to hold it in. I nearly suffered internal injuries. Xiao Bai really wanted to release the enlargement stroke. He had been sleeping soundly for such a long time, but to him, he was still cultivating non-stop. There were several times when he had almost mastered the basics of a high-leveled skill, but it always slipped past his shoulder. This time, he had to hold it in twice, and didn't do so. He almost caused Long Fei's death, and he himself also felt uncomfortable. Long Fei looked at Xiao Bai with innocent eyes and said, Really? I swear by my little brother, no. Xiao Bai said firmly. I believe in you for the last time. Long Fei released Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai shook his body and muttered to himself, I don't know if he broke it or not, I'll have to rely on him to pick up girls from now on. Long Fei glared at him. Xiao Bai immediately giggled, not daring to say anything. Chapter 103, Tribal Extermination. Chapter 103, Tribal Extermination. Master, where are we going now? Xiao Wudi will definitely not let this go easily. I need to find the leopard girl first. That wild woman in the leopard pattern? Ah. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Master, I was wrong. Don't play my little brother. I won't dare to say that to my sister-in-law again. If you dare be so vulgar again, I'll cut off your little brother. Xiao Bai's body shrunk. The idea moved and entered Long Fei's war pet space, saying, I'm still going to sleep. You humans are too evil. Big move. My big move. I need to study my big move carefully. What exactly do I need to do to be able to use that big move? I don't have enough strength. Yes. My power source energy is insufficient to support the enlargement stroke. How can I find a substitute for the power source? Xiao Bai couldn't help but stare at the thing inside Long Fei's space ring, his eyes shining brightly. Xiao Wudi would definitely not give up when he saw that the fierce tiger tribe was in trouble. He would definitely take revenge for the loss of his son. However, finding Long Fei in the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains was like looking for a needle in a haystack. Long Fei was not worried about himself, but about the leopard girl. Xiao Wudi would definitely make a move on her. Even if he couldn't find her now, he would still attack the wild leopard tribe that possessed the leopard girl. I have to hurry. The leopard girl will definitely return to wild leopard tribe to evacuate the people in the tribe. Long Fei's heart tightened. After consuming a healing pellet, The wounds on his body became controlled and he ran towards Huiying Ya. More than an hour later, Long Fei arrived at the edge of the Fire Eagle cave and walked in, but he realized that the Fire Eagle had not returned yet. Those Fire Eagle cubs were currently sharing the python's meat. When they saw Long Fei, they immediately cheered, and all of them surrounded Long Fei, chattering non-stop. "What about your mother?" Long Fei asked. "Gugu." He could not understand a single word that was being said. Long Fei asked again, "Have you seen a woman wearing a leopard pattern with a wild personality?" Xiao Bai stopped chewing and said disdainfully, "You still call me vulgar, aren't you the same? Remember this girl's leopard tattoo." Gugu. There was another burst of bird language, and it was extremely intense. Long Fei felt his scalp go numb, and shouted, "Xiao Bai, what are they saying?" Xiao Bai continued to chew as he said, "They said that the woman wearing the leopard stripe jumped down the cliff from here. It was his mother who saved her." Over and over again, like a madman. In the end, mother flew away with the woman in the leopard pattern and headed east. East. Long Fei's heart sank. East? Scarlet Flame Valley, in the direction of the wild leopard tribe. As expected. Long Fei's heart sank, and said, "I'm still too late." Suddenly, when he saw what Xiao Bai was eating while she was speaking, he could not help but ask, "Xiao Bai, what are you eating?" Xiao Bai immediately said innocently, "I didn't eat anything, master. Did you see an illusion? Hurry and go to the woman inside the leopard pattern. I'm worried that she has already reached the wild leopard tribe that you spoke of." Long Fei's expression tensed up. He did not think about what Xiao Bai was eating, and quickly climbed up the cliff and ran towards the east. War Pet Space. Xiao Bai was stunned. He had 3 spirit stones on his butt, a total of 5. He ate 2 of them. "I wonder if master will cut off my little brother after he finds out. No matter what, I cannot let him find out. However, now I can use the enlargement stroke." Long Fei sprinted all the way as he increased his speed to the limit. "Fire Hawk, you must stop her, you must." Along the way, when it was time, Long Fei swallowed a true pill, causing his true breath to rapidly swell. Under the accumulation of highest-grade medicine powder, his injuries were more or less the same. His energy recovered. Long Fei ran even faster. In another place, Wild Leopard Tribe. The 8 fierce tiger warriors wielded large steel blades and turned into executioners. "Speak, where is that small wild leopard? You won't tell me, right? Crack. Speak, has little wild leopard come back yet? Still not telling? Crack." He only asked one question, and if he didn't answer, his head would fall to the ground. He didn't know, but his head fell to the ground. Nonsense, the head falls to the ground. The entire wild leopard tribe was filled with corpses. Old people, women, children, and even pregnant women were all brutally killed as blood flowed like a river. Corpses were piled up like a mountain, and the stench of blood permeated through the tribe. In the forest, the leopard girl quickly shuttled back and forth, quickly charging towards her own tribe. Hearing the screams coming from the direction of the tribe, her heart felt heavy. Tears continued to flow. She was very clear on the methods of the fierce tiger tribe. If they could not capture her, they would really kill everyone in Wild Leopard Tribe. "Daddy is dead, the elders and uncles are dead. I really don't want to see anyone else die for me." The leopard girl was filled with remorse. She felt she should be the one to die. His speed continued to increase. Above her, a fiery eagle circled. "Let's go. Hurry up and leave. I am the daughter of death. If you follow me, you will also die." The leopard girl looked at the fire hawk in the sky and cried out a few times anxiously. She secretly thought in her heart, "Big brother Long Fei, you must be all right." Because in the forest, the fire hawk simply couldn't charge down, so it could only continue to circle around and follow him. At the same time, he was also calling Long Fei. Wild Leopard Tribe. A fierce tiger warrior stepped forward, his great steel saber dripping with blood. He respectfully said, "Leader, no one knows. Little Wild Leopard probably hasn't come back yet." Xiao Wudi's eyes turned cold, and said, "It doesn't matter if she has come back or not, Wild Leopard Tribe will still die, kill them all." "Yes, sir." And then, 8 tiger elite warriors began their massacre. Just a moment ago, they were only killing one by one. This time, they were frantically killing. To the elderly, women, and children, each stroke was like cutting vegetables from a radish. There was not the slightest bit of leniency, as if they were devils. It was also at this time. A warrior suddenly ran to Xiao Wudi's side and said, "Leader, that fire eagle." Xiao Wudi raised his head to look, and his brows tightened. "She's nearby. Kill her and her people. I don't believe she won't come out." "Yes, sir." Xiao Wudi laughed coldly, and said, "Little wild leopard, come out. To see your own clansmen die because of you, do you have the heart to do so?" Ha ha ha. In the forest. The leopard girl pushed aside the leaves to look at her tribe. She screamed miserably as the sky was filled with raging flames. She let out a sad and shrill roar, "Ah!" Just as he was about to charge out. Long Fei caught hold of him, and held on tightly. "Don't go. It's already too late. They're all dead." The leopard girl was going crazy, an indescribable power surged from her body. This power caused a huge impact on Long Fei, and was even stronger than the power on Xiao Wudi's body. Long Fei was extremely shocked, her arms clutching even tighter. If the leopard girl had rushed out, the power from her body would have exploded, and she would have been crippled as well. It was also at this time. Xiao Wudi laughed coldly, "Haha, you have finally appeared." Chapter 104, One-Shot Kill. Chapter 104, One-Shot Kill. Xiao Wudi's goal was simple, to force out the leopard girl. He used the leopard girl as bait to lure Long Fei out. He never thought that he would be able to imprint both Long Fei and the leopard girl in one go. Immediately, Xiao Wudi laughed sinisterly, and said, "Little bastards, you won't be able to escape. Chase after him." In that instant, the 8 fierce tiger warriors transformed into fierce tigers and pounced into the forest. The senses of demon beasts were naturally stronger than humans. In this dark forest, their senses were even more acute. Soon, the 8 of them locked onto Long Fei and the leopard girl's position. Xiao Wudi laughed deeply, turned around and looked at the wild leopard tribe whose flames shot to the sky. The idea moved, and a powerful force burst out, causing those flames to explode within the tribe as he coldly said, "From today onwards, there will never be a wild leopard tribe in demon territory again. All dead." At this moment, the leopard girl was still struggling intensely. Long Fei did not care too much as he carried her and rushed into the forest. The idea connected with the fire eagle and asked, "Where's the way? Hurry up and give me a hint." He could not determine the direction in the dense forest and could only rely on the fire eagle to navigate. Firehawk said with a sound transmission, "Master, about 3,000 meters away from your left hand is a cliff." That cliff. Firehawk paused for a moment and hesitated, but in the end, he still said, "You guys go over there, I'll wait for you at the edge of the cliff." "Got it. Fire Eagle, be careful." Xiao Wudi definitely came prepared this time. Long Fei was worried. The Fire Eagle had appeared once before. It was impossible for Xiao Wudi to not be on his guard. Firehawk said, "Master, you can rest assured." The Firehawk was very confident and didn't take Shamu seriously. There were very few flying beasts. In this area, it was the absolute overlord, and it was not afraid of any flying beasts. Carrying the leopard girl, Long Fei quickly shuttled back and forth, and said to the leopard girl, "Don't worry, I will definitely take revenge for you. I will definitely kill Xiao Wudi with my own hands. Boss." Thinking about the golden light shining off Xiao Wudi's body, he couldn't help but get excited. Human bosses were rare. In the game, if it was a humanoid boss, it would definitely drop something or even a holy artifact. The holy artifact, Gudong. Long Fei heavily swallowed his saliva, and muttered, "I will definitely explode you." Tears streamed down the leopard girl's face and her voice was hoarse. Looking at her father, she felt extremely remorseful that all of her clansmen had died in front of her. Ever since she was young, she was known as the daughter of evil and was also known as the daughter of death. Her mother died because of her. Right now, her father and her clansmen were all dead because of her. She really didn't want anyone to die because of her, so she shouted at Long Fei, "Big brother Long Fei, let me down, I am the daughter of death, I will bring you bad luck, let me go, You can escape by yourself, be with me, you won't be able to escape. Right now, she was only worried about Long Fei. She was worried that her bad luck would befall Long Fei. Hoo. Long Fei panted like an ox and increased his speed to the maximum. Upon hearing the leopard girl's words, he immediately slapped her perky little butt, and said, "If you dare say more, I'll break your little butt." What misfortune? Are you Lady Misfortune? Wrong. You're a leopard girl. What unknown daughter? Are you an ominous blade? Wrong. You're a leopard girl. The leopard girl is the leopard girl, not some dead girl, and she won't bring me any misfortune. As long as I, Long Fei, am here, I won't let anyone bully you. I want you to be happy for the rest of your life. Long Fei said as he ran, "Your father died for you, your clansmen died for you, they were all protecting you. Why? Because I hope that you can live on. I'd be furious if you told me again about leaving you behind." Left the leopard girl behind? Impossible. Inhale. Inhale. A 2-meter-tall, robust tiger sniffed and then said to the fierce tiger warriors behind him, to the left, 600 meters away, "I'll increase my speed first." Roar. With a leap, the tiger landed on a large tree. It propped itself up with its 4 limbs and jumped again. In the blink of an eye, it was already more than 10 meters away. The 7 ferocious tigers behind him also quickly gave chase. 2 minutes later, Firehawk suddenly transmitted his voice. "Master, 100 meters behind you, 50 meters, 30 meters. He's here, he's here." In that instant, roar. The fierce tiger roared, and the sound wave from the war chief realm shot out, directly suppressing Long Fei, and even causing his eardrums to crack. Long Fei immediately slowed down. At this moment, that fierce tiger pounced forward, and its body quickly transformed into a half-human half-beast. A large steel blade heavily slashed down. Fierce tiger slash. The great steel blade suddenly spewed out a flame. Within the flames, an incomparably ferocious flame tiger burst out, forming a blade chi that pounced towards Xiong Long Fei. Long Fei put down the leopard girl. He lowered his body and spread out his limbs, gu. His body flew out like a cannonball. The toading skill was the fastest. When faced with the intense tiger slash, Long Fei could only use it if he wanted to. Whoosh! The ferocious fire tiger saber chi pierced through his body, instantly striking the abdomen of the fierce tiger warrior. Bam! The fierce tiger warrior's abdomen was in severe pain, but he was an experienced fierce tiger warrior. Even if his abdomen was in pain, he was still very calm. He changed his blade technique and slashed towards Long Fei's back. Die. Bind him. Jeji. KCHA. Puff puff puff. Blood spurted out from the ferocious tiger warrior's mouth. His body sank into the ground, but his hands still fiercely hacked down from the air. Die. The cultivation level of the war chief realm was much higher than Long Fei. Moreover, Long Fei never thought that he would actually still be able to go all out and slash after being struck by the toading skill's garroting. His heart sank as he thought to himself, "This is over. This blade was definitely going to die. F***CK. It's still too weak." Long Fei felt hatred in his heart, and at the same time laughed. "It's over." Whoosh. Just as Long Fei was about to lose all hope, an incomparably sharp spear cut across the sky, the tip of the spear carrying a red light, like a light-emitting weapon. The javelin was directly thrust into the fierce tiger warrior's mouth. Boom. The fierce tiger warrior was nailed to a large tree in the distance by the powerful force. The fine steel saber was only half a centimeter away from Long Fei's back. Long Fei felt a chill on his back and almost peed on his pants. Looking at the javelin in the feral tiger warrior's mouth, Long Fei turned to look at the leopard girl not far away and said excitedly, "This is you, wild huntress, ha ha ha." The leopard girl stood there. His chest heaved up and down, and the 2 giant peaks shook, as if wanting to shatter the leopard pattern barrier. He looked at Long Fei and said, "Big brother Long Fei, I won't resign myself to fate." At that moment, she and Long Fei had the same thought that Long Fei was going to die. However, she did not want to see the people around her die because of her. She did not know why, but in that instant, that mysterious power within her suddenly burst forth, grabbing the javelin and throwing it away. Awesome. Chapter 105, Dragon Valley. Chapter 105, Dragon Valley. The leopard girl's sudden outburst made Long Fei extremely excited. In the LOL game, for a leopard girl to reach her limit was really an eye-popping display of damage. Half-blood. Moreover, just then, Long Fei saw clearly that a 6-digits damage had floated up above the fierce tiger warrior's head. Even a critical strike couldn't do that. This was the real leopard girl, wild huntress, right in front. Chase after him. A roar came from the forest. Long Fei looked at the leopard girl and said, "Let's go." The leopard girl looked at the dark forest, her gaze tensed up as she quickly followed Long Fei, running towards the cliff. Scorching tiger. Fierce tiger. The three of them looked at the fierce tiger warriors nailed to the tree with bloodshot eyes. "Ah, bastard, I'll kill you." Roar. Looking at the incomparably miserable state of the fierce tiger, the three of them were enraged. They grew up together, cultivated together, and became the fierce tiger tribe's fierce tiger warriors. They were even closer than brothers. The death of the fierce tiger had provoked them. Green tiger, wait for the leader. Roar. A giant green tiger rushed out, filled with incomparable rage. Next. The other two fierce tigers also quickly followed. When their speed reached its limit, the power of the war chief realm burst out. In less than half a minute, Green Tiger, who was at the front, saw the leopard girl. "Little bitch, return my big brother's life." Roar. With a roar, Green Tiger moved, his body transformed into a half-human half-beast, and slashed down. At this moment, Long Fei suddenly stood up from behind a big tree, tightly holding onto the dragon's salyer. He grinned and shouted excitedly, "Slash." A single slash swept out. After slicing through the air, the flaming saber chi was set ablaze. Boom. It directly slashed at Green Tiger's waist. Crack. The tyrannical power of the supreme artifact erupted. Dagger slash. Instant kill. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Green Tiger, for obtaining 12,000 experience, 800 true breath and 10 energy values. The instant after the beheading, Long Fei took a step forward, and quickly chased after the leopard girl. Green Tiger, Green Tiger. Ah. Ah. They were a few seconds slower than Green Tiger. From afar, they saw Green Tiger's body being cut in half by Green Tiger's waist, with blood flowing all over the ground. The two lost their minds and rushed forward. Anger made them lose their mind. A scarlet tiger was getting closer and closer to Long Fei, its claws trying to catch him. The leopard girl. Big brother Long Fei. Long Fei's speed suddenly changed. The leopard girl in front of Long Fei suddenly turned around and threw a javelin at him. Whoosh, 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 asterisk bam. The javelin shot out and pierced right through the tiger's heart. It sent him flying and nailed him to a big tree. The javelin directly pierced through his body. Boom. Blood gushed out as his limbs struggled. Looking at the leopard girl in the distance, he was enraged and his vision blurred. Dead. One-hit kill. Long Fei praised her excitedly. Beautiful. This marker was too beautiful. The leopard girl also giggled. At the same time, her expression changed and she shouted, "Big brother Long Fei, behind you." The other fierce tiger warrior had already pounced over. The steel blade had already slashed at the top of Xiong Long Fei's head. Die. His life was hanging by a thread. A few of Long Fei's hair was cut off by the blade chi. He raised his eyes. "I still don't know who died." Crack. Boom. Godly right arm fist. A punch was sent out explosively, directly hitting the steel broadsword. Bam. The large power King Kong ape's god power burst out, his fist broke the steel broadsword, and the strong fist wind smashed onto the feral tiger warrior's face. The fierce tiger warrior flew out. Tiny rippling steps. Shua. Without waiting for the feral tiger warrior to land on the ground, Long Fei had already leapt into the air. Looking down from above, he cupped his fists together, forming the battle axe form. Boom. Hugging his fists, he smashed them onto the fierce tiger warrior's head. 2 combo. The head split open. Headshot. Instant kill. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Lan, who for obtaining 12,000 experience, 800 true breath and 10 energy values. Ding. Congratulations player Long Fei 4 comprehending combo technique, you have gained 1000 experience points, 100 true breath points, and 100 points as a reward. Martial skills, combo description, links between cultivation techniques. Links can form a combo for less than 1 second. Combo damage can result in a 50% critical hit increase. Awesome. Consecutive attacks were very common in the game. However, this was the first time Long Fei used the combo effect, and also the first time that his head exploded. And because of this, he'd comprehended a combo cultivation method. The only thing that was lacking was that he could only use martial skills to combo the attacks, he couldn't use normal attacks. Otherwise, Long Fei would have been able to knock the combo to an explosive height. Faster. Let's go. Long Fei held the leopard girl's hand and quickly walked towards the direction of the cliff. As long as he walked to the cliff and sat on the fire eagle, he would be able to escape from Xiao Wudi's pursuit. These feral tiger warriors were all war chief rankers. Long Fei could barely deal with them. However, he could only fight him one-on-one, but if he were to face off against 2 war chief rankers, he would definitely not be a match for them. The difference in levels was simply too great. The most important thing was Xiao Wudi. In front of Xiao Wudi, he basically did not have any chance to retaliate. War Elder Realm. It was something that Long Fei couldn't shake at all right now. The only way was to hide, raise his level increase, and at the very least break through the War Chief realm. Just you wait. I will definitely kill you, I definitely will, Long Fei said in his heart. There is no justice for a boss not to explode. The 4 fierce tiger warriors landed. Looking at the corpses of Lai Hu, Kai Hu, Green Tiger, and Lan Hu, each one of them looked extremely miserable. However, the 4 of them were extremely calm and did not lose their minds from their anger. Up ahead is the cliff. They definitely want to use the fire hawks to escape. We'll surround them. We can't let them get on the fire eagle. The power within the 4 of them resonated, and once again, their powers were activated. In 2s and 2s, they charged right and left. Long Fei and the female leopard increased their speed continuously. The more they ran, the more the leopard girl's expression became unsettled. She said, "Big brother Long Fei, the canyon ahead." Long Fei asked, "What's wrong?" The leopard girl's eyebrows tightened, and said, "The gorge in front is demon territory's forbidden area, and is also hundreds of thousands of barren mountains' forbidden area. No one who goes in will be able to come out alive. I'm worried." Fire Hawk. Long Fei's heart tensed up. He remembered that when the fire eagle told them that there was a cliff in front of them, its tone was a little off, and he asked, "What valley is in front?" The leopard girl's voice trembled, because she was scared, even mentioning the name of that valley. She said, "Dragon's Valley." Chapter 106, Are We Going to Die? Chapter 106, Are We Going to Die? Dragon's Valley? Long Fei's heart suddenly trembled. Not out of fear. He was excited. Long Fei immediately asked, "Why is it called Dragon's Valley, and why did it become a forbidden grounds?" The leopard girl said, "I'm not too sure either. There was a rumor circulating around the demon territory that a fire dragon had created the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains. The fire dragons are the progenitors of their evil demons. Once, someone heard the roars of a huge dragon in the canyon. From then on, it was named the Dragon's Valley. It was the holy land of the demon territory and was also a forbidden area. The fire eagle definitely knew that the Dragon Valley was ahead of them. However, he did not have a choice, because this was the closest and the only way to escape. He could only try once. Fire Dragon. Long Fei became excited in his heart, and thought to himself, "This must be it, this must be it." There had to be a fire dragon here. As long as he could get the dragon blood. A large amount of dragon blood, that grandpa's illness can definitely be cured, and it can even help him to break through the War Master Ream. It can definitely happen. The leopard girl looked at Long Fei's thoughtful expression and said, "Big brother Long Fei, why don't we change our direction? Tell Fire Eagle, we caw." At this moment, a mournful scream rang out. Long Fei was startled. Fire Eagle. Fire Eagle immediately said to Long Fei through sound transmission, "Master, run, run, quickly, run." Caw. Soon after, more miserable screams could be heard. Long Fei threw aside everything and quickly rushed out. The field of vision in front suddenly widened, and everything around was golden, radiating light like gold. The stone melted. The trees that grew up were also golden in color, and the leaves were golden in color. It was the same as the dark forest from before, a completely different world. The instant Long Fei rushed out of the forest, the 4 feral tiger warriors pounced on him and roared fiercely, "Humble human, surrender yourself." Bam! 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 Long Fei made 3 consecutive moves, blocking 3 of them, but another punch landed on his abdomen, and the clothes on his back were torn off by the wind that went through his body. His entire body was sent flying as he landed heavily on the ground. It was as if his body was splitting apart. The 4 of them revealed looks of contempt and cold smiles. The moment Long Fei was smashed to the ground, the 4 of them moved at the same time, sheathed their steel broadswords, and threw 4 heavy fists at him. Bang, bang, bang. "Big brother Long Fei, don't. Fut." Long Fei violently spurted out blood, the bones in his entire body seemed to have collapsed, it was extremely uncomfortable. Against 4 experts of the War Chief realm, he did not have any chance to retaliate. The difference in levels was simply too great. The 4 feral tiger warriors dragged Long Fei's body to the edge of the cliff. It was also at this time Xiao Wudi's figure slowly flew up. Beneath his feet was the fire eagle, who had suffered heavy injuries. Looking at Long Fei, whose blood was violently spurting out, the fire eagle screamed miserably, "Master, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have let you come here, I'm sorry." Fut. Long Fei spat out a mouthful of blood, his face pale white. Xiao Wudi stared at Long Fei coldly and said, "Fight with me? Are you qualified?" Humph! Xiao Wudi coldly snorted, and said, "You overestimate yourself." And then, Xiao Wudi looked at the shivering leopard girl and said, "Capture her for me." The 2 feral tiger warriors stepped on Long Fei's body, the other 2 grabbed the leopard girl and punched her twice. The leopard girl also coughed out a mouthful of blood. He was dragged up. "Big brother Long Fei, it's all because of me. I'm sorry, it's all because of my misfortune." The leopard girl dropped to the ground and sat beside Long Fei. Looking at the fresh blood that covered Long Fei's body, her heart was in incomparable pain. Long Fei moved his right hand slightly and wiped away the tears on the leopard girl's face. He laughed lightly, "Idiot, if you are a leopard girl, then you are a leopard girl." Ouch! Xiao Wudi sneered, "At a time like this, you're still flirting with me? Long Fei, when your father stole my woman, I swore from that moment onwards that I will make your Long family pay." The leopard girl suddenly stood up and said, "Xiao Wudi, the person you want is me, and I was the one who caused your son's death. I beg you, please let big brother Long Fei go, I'm willing to do anything." "You dare to mention my son?" Xiao Wudi suddenly became furious, the powerful pressure immediately pressing down on the leopard girl's body. Plop! The leopard girl was stomped on the ground. Xiao Wudi said solemnly, "My son likes you so much that he can do anything for you, but what about you? You be *tch, Zi Che likes a lowly human. You are not worthy of being my son. I will bury you alive in front of my son's grave. I will make you repent in front of his grave for all eternity." He was extremely furious at Xiao Hu's death. However, he was even more enraged that the leopard girl chose humans over his son. This human was still a member of the Long family. Long Zhanting's son's fury had increased explosively, as if someone had added oil to the fire. The leopard girl said, "I am willing to accept any punishment that you give me, and I beg you, please let him go. Big brother Long Fei is innocent, so I will kowtow to you, uncle unrivaled." As he spoke, he kowtowed. Long Fei shouted, "Don't kowtow to that beast. Xiao Wudi, if you have the guts, come after your father. Do you know why my father was able to take my mother away? Because she likes my father, not you. Do you understand? The leopard girl doesn't like Xiao Hu at all, understand? You father and son are both losers, do you understand?" Long Fei roared. Xiao Wudi became even more furious, all of the energy in his body ignited as he roared towards the sky. Ah! Anger! He was in incomparable rage. For some reason, his angry roar echoed throughout Dragon Canyon. Suddenly, the entire canyon began to shake. Leader, this is the Dragon Valley of the Forbidden Area. Will it anger the sacred ancient? Otherwise, It was also at this time. The fire eagle suddenly screeched, and the idea used the voice transmission technique to Long Fei. Master, this is the right time. Wu Shuang. Rumble. Long Fei clenched his teeth and roared fiercely. He released the power of 2 times the normal attribute. He roared and suddenly stood up, grabbing the leopard girl and flying out of the cliff. Fire Hawk. Caw. The fire hawk gave a cry, and suddenly, its body turned into a straight line, flying into the sky. Xiao Wudi was also caught off guard. His body swayed and was about to fall off the back of the fire eagle. If he fell down, he would die without a doubt. This was a forbidden area, Dragon Valley. Long Fei looked at Xiao Wudi's swaying body, and became excited. It's going to succeed, it's going to succeed. But he did not understand the power of the War Elder Realm at all. Xiao Wudi's eyes turned sinister, and the power of change on the 3rd step erupted. Boom. A sneak attack on your father. Then die with me. Xiao Wudi then kicked the fire eagle's wings hard, causing her to fall off the cliff. And at this moment, Long Fei was desperate. The leopard girl giggled and said, Big brother Long Fei, are we going to die? Chapter 107 I'm willing to marry you. Chapter 107 I'm willing to marry you. Long Fei's plan was for Fire Eagle to throw Xiao Wudi off the cliff. However, Xiao Wudi's ability had exceeded his expectations. The Fire Eagle did not shake him off, and instead, its wings were snapped by Xiao Wudi with a single kick, as it fell into the abyss like a kite with its string cut. The key to the plan was the Fire Hawk. The Fire Eagle was injured and fell into the abyss. Long Fei carried the leopard girl and already jumped out. He originally thought that the Fire Hawk would have enough time to catch them and fly into the sky. Long Fei hugged the leopard girl tightly and said, Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. He placed the leopard girl on top of him, his back facing downwards. Using his own body as a cushion, he hoped to keep the leopard girl alive. The leopard girl stayed in Long Fei's embrace as she was afraid, and the two looked at each other. The picture was just like the one in the movie. The two of them continued to descend. The wind whistled, and smoke curled up in the air. It was as if all of this was forbidden by them. The leopard girl blinked her long eyelashes, and her eyes were incomparably gentle as she said, Big brother Long Fei, I'm willing. Are you willing? What would you like? Long Fei asked. Although she was shy, she still boldly said, I'm willing to marry you, and be loyal to you for the rest of my life. No matter how rich or poor I am, life and death will always be with me. She thought about Long Fei's proposal under the altar of the fierce tiger tribe and didn't say anything at that time. Long Fei was startled. At that time, he had wanted to bring the leopard girl away, but now that the leopard girl had said this, he felt a little uncomfortable. He said, I'm a bad guy, and my home also. Not waiting for him to finish. The leopard girl's burning hot lips covered Long Fei's mouth as she spoke, Don't say anything, I'm even willing. No matter how many women you have, no matter who is in your family, I'll follow you for the rest of my life. In this instant, Long Fei's body felt as though it had been struck by lightning. Strictly speaking, this was his first kiss. This feeling was too wonderful. His heart was filled with sweetness, and he had a feeling the feeling of happiness. At this moment, their bodies became hot and dry. Long Fei also threw caution to the wind. He was about to fall to his death, and he himself was still a virgin, standing in mid-air. Pa. To be able to die with such a beautiful girl like the leopard girl, his entire life would be worth it. The leopard girl's breathing quickened, and her voice carried a slight moan. The enchanting qi on Long Fei's body was absorbed by her, causing her breathing to become hurried, and her body to become boiling hot. Long Fei was the same. The forbidden fruit told them that it yearned for them, but at the same time it was ignorant. The leopard girl panted and said, Big brother Long Fei. Long Fei's heart trembled. He realized that the dragon girl was a little different. Her body was boiling hot. How could this be? Even if it's a physical need, it won't become so intense. That's not right. Suddenly, in Long Fei's heart, everything disappeared, because he felt that something was amiss. He sniffed. There's something wrong with the air. The leopard girl. Wake up. The leopard girl still looked at Long Fei charmingly without stopping. So hot, so hot. Big brother Long Fei, I'm so hot. While they were talking, she directly sat on Long Fei's waist. Ah! Long Fei ferociously roared towards the sky. Whoosh-wang. Boom. With his double attribute strength exploding out, he did not care too much and used his palm as a blade and struck the back of the leopard girl's neck. The leopard girl's body went limp and she fainted while lying on Long Fei's body. Long Fei also calmed down and said, "Damn, I almost couldn't hold on anymore." At this moment, rumble. A pillar of fire shot into the sky. It was just a few meters away from his body. It scared him so much that his body trembled. "We can't die. I can't die here. I still have too many things to do. I can't die yet." Long Fei frowned. "I have yet to find dragon blood to save grandfather. I have yet to help the Long family rise in power. I have yet to slap Nangong Yang's face. I have yet to step on Three Pillars' face. I have yet to step on Nangong Imperial family's face. I have yet to find the remaining half of the dragon Salya. I still have a lot of things to do. I can't die." Long Fei turned his body abruptly, his eyes almost unable to open due to the scorching strong wind. This was because the Wushuang attribute was still continuing. Long Fei could barely make out that there were many huge pits at the bottom of the abyss. At the same time, there were also many fiery holes flowing with magma that would spurt out magma from time to time. Water. There's water in the pit. Long Fei crazily calculated in his mind. Water. King Kong shield, battle dragon armor. Long Fei swallowed a healing pellet and a true pill. He silently thought in his heart, "No matter what, let's fight it out." King Kong shield, open, buzz. Battle dragon armor, open, boom. The King Kong shield's power released a wave of air shield that wrapped Long Fei up. The dragon battle armor's defense was also released. Long Fei controlled his direction and hugged the leopard girl. His body sank as he rushed into a puddle of water. "Old master, bless me." Chapter 108 Dragon. Chapter 108 Dragon. All defenses were activated. His falling speed had also reached its limit. If the water in the hole was shallow, Long Fei would definitely die from the impact. He could only rely on luck. Rumble. Rumble. The fire pillar rose to the sky. One after another fire pillar burst out. It was extremely hot. Long Fei roared out, "Hey! Hualala." He stuck his head into the hole. Gulp. Gulu. With the leopard girl in his arms, he continued to dive deeper and deeper. He was glad that the hole was very deep, like a bullet entering water. The moment he entered the hole, the King Kong shield's defense broke and it crumbled. The battle dragon armor's two wings had been broken as well. When the true breath was exhausted, Wushuang would automatically cancel it. At this moment, all of Long Fei's defenses disappeared. It helped him offset most of the impact, but he wasn't injured at all. It was just that the impact was too great and he continued to dive deeper. Gulp. Gulu. Boom. Boom. The column of fire shot out from the pillar, reflecting the water as bright as day. Suddenly, a huge shadow flashed past. Whoosh. Long Fei's heart sank. What is it? Whoosh. Long Fei could see it clearly this time. A ferocious beast, whose entire body was covered with bone spikes, was staring straight at him, its two eyes flickering with green light, baring its fangs, as if it was drooling. Gulp. Long Fei spat out a string of bubbles. Immediately, his feet moved as he quickly swam up. He cursed in his heart, "What the hell? What the hell is this thing? Is this guy crazy?" The gash was very long. This was the first time Long Fei had encountered such a monster with just 1,000,000 HP. He did not want to kill, but to escape. He could not hold on in the water for long, and he was not sure what was happening to the leopard girl either. He needed to get out of the water as soon as possible. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The prehistoric beast kept changing its position like lightning, causing Long Fei to be unable to see it clearly. Moreover, it seemed to be extremely curious about Long Fei and had never come across this kind of thing. It did not eat him immediately but instead continued to play around with him. Just like a cat catching a mouse, the first thing it did was not to eat it, but to play with it. It was so funny that it had no power to resist. Long Fei swam upstream with all his might, and the idea in his heart said to Xiao Bai, "Idiot, do you have a way?" Xiao Bai immediately said, "Master, I want the enlargement stroke." Long Fei had a shadow in his heart because of Xiao Bai's big move, so he asked, "Do you have any other ways? If there is, let's use other methods, and don't ever talk about enlargement strokes, brother, I can't hurt you." Xiao Bai hesitated for a moment, shook his head and said, "No, I only have one move. Holy **T. Long Fei cursed in his heart. Seeing that he was getting closer and closer to the water surface, he could tell from the eyes of the prehistoric monster that it was about to attack. Helpless, Long Fei shouted in his heart, "Your enlargement stroke. If you make another fart and drag a pile of **T out, you'll be beaten to death by me. I really don't want to see that again." Xiao Bai said confidently, "Master, just watch." Finished. Xiao Bai rushed out from war pet space. Gulu. Gulu. The sound of someone drowning. "Master, I can't swim, I can't swim, Gulu Gulu." Cough, cough, cough. Xiao Bai anxiously cried for help, his four limbs struggling non-stop. After struggling for a while, his eyes turned white. "Big move. Is this your ultimate move?" What the **CK? Long Fei was truly speechless. It was extremely painful. Long Fei grabbed Xiao Bai with one hand and the leopard girl with the other, while doing his best to swim upwards. "Why is my life so bitter? What kind of **T god beast is this? I'm really convinced." When the prehistoric monster saw Xiao Bai, its expression shook. Following that, all the bones in its body suddenly stood up, and its body doubled in size. It rushed towards Xiong Long Fei with a whoosh. The aura from Xiao Bai's body made it feel fear and excitement at the same time. At this moment, it became extremely fierce. "It's over. It's over." They were not killed by Xiao Wudi, they did not fall to their deaths, but were about to be eaten by demon beasts. Long Fei's heart sank, he really had no way out right now. He could not exert any strength at all due to the injuries on his body and his body being exhausted. Furthermore, he had to pull the leopard girl and Xiao Bai with all his might to swim upstream, because the leopard girl had already fallen into a severe coma. Xiao Bai also turned into a dead dog. Under this situation, Long Fei really had no other choice. "Am I going to die?" Long Fei frowned, he was extremely unhappy. This father has so many things to do, but this father has just come to this different world, and I haven't enjoyed my days here. The most important thing is, I'm still a virgin, I don't want to die. Zhongxian was infuriated. Connect to the idea's sea of consciousness, for some reason. The sea of consciousness and the spiritual void ring were connected. The luck attribute burst forth and connected to the dragon Salia. The dragon Salia released an extremely overbearing aura. Wang. His aura shook, and an invisible force exploded outwards. That prehistoric monster only stopped for a moment, but in that instant, it still quickly rushed over at an astonishing speed. However, the energy from the dragon Salia's aura continued to rush into the depths of the water, just as the prehistoric monster was about to devour Long Fei. Wang. Deep within the waters, a gigantic eye slowly opened. It was as though it was gliding through the natural energy of the world. With a glare of his golden pupils, endless power burst forth and the entire water seemed to stand still. And at that instant, that prehistoric beast shrunk its body into the size of a fist, and it immediately fled as if it saw a ghost. In the blink of an eye, it disappeared without a trace. Long Fei also felt the power that came from the water. Looking at that eyes that was like a fireball, his heart was in turmoil. Dragon. At this moment. On the cliff. Xiao Wudi was extremely furious. This couple has truly let you two off easy by dying below. If he's alive, I want to see him. If he's dead, I want to see his corpse. Go down and search. Xiao Wudi was still not in a good mood. He wanted to use Long Fei's head to hang onto the flag of the demon army, to use Long Fei's blood to pay tribute to his son's death. There was also the leopard girl, and he could not let her go. Her son was so fond of her that even if she died, she would die by his side. One of the feral tiger warriors said anxiously, "Leader, the demon army has already gathered. They are still waiting for you to blow the horn to attack." "Yes, leader, they must be dead." "Leader, the greater picture is the more important. Demon army had already gathered enough. If Xiao Wudi still did not appear, then he would lose his aura. If he lost his aura, there was no way to fight." Xiao Wudi looked at the dragon's canyon, clenched his fists tightly, and laughed crazily towards the sky, saying, "Long Zhanting, did you see that? Your son died at my hands. Holy witch, did you see that? Your son died at my hands, ha ha. Ha ha ha. Just you wait. I will immediately kill all of the Long family's troops in Dragon Mountain Valley. Ha ha ha." Chapter 109, Demonic Land. Chapter 109, Demonic Land. Hoo 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 hoo. Hoo 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 hoo. Long Fei lay on the shore, panting like a cow. He recovered a little bit, then hacked a piece of clothes onto the leopard girl's body. Phut! Phut! The leopard girl spat out a mouthful of saliva as her consciousness slowly recovered. Her eyes weakly opened as she looked at her surroundings. "Big brother Long Fei, are we dead?" Long Fei laughed. "With me here, even Yama can't think of taking you away from me." Long Fei saw that Xiao Bai's eyes were white, his forelimbs facing up. He coldly snorted and scolded. "Continue playing dead for me. Do you believe that I won't kick you into the water?" "Hee hee." Xiao Bai immediately stood up and said, "Master, it was my mistake, it was really my mistake. I didn't expect that my big move couldn't come out from the water. Or maybe it's because I'm too nervous about swimming. I won't have a next time. Next time, I'll definitely use my big move. Master, can you not play with my little brother? If you say don't play, then don't play. Are you the boss or am I the boss? There are still outsiders here. Can't you give them some face? You still know how to talk about face. You've already lost all of my face. I don't dare, I won't dare anymore, I swear." Long Fei did not show mercy and shouted, "You still have the face to mention the word big move to me? I've been played by you again and again. If there's a next time, I'll directly cut you into pieces." After saying that, Long Fei released Xiao Bai, glared at him, and said, "If you continue to play with me, you will know the consequences." He was truly angry in his heart. However, even if Long Fei said this, it would only scare Xiao Bai, because he felt that he was deceived. It was still 2 times, and there had to be a limit to his naughtiness. Both times were critical moments and he had almost died at Xiao Bai's hands. If he didn't teach him a lesson, he really wouldn't remember. Xiao Bai nodded with grievance, and said, "I understand." And then he muttered, "But I really do have some tricks up my sleeves." "You're still talking about big moves?" Long Fei's eyes tensed up. Xiao Bai immediately did not dare to say more, and said in his heart, "Master, I really do have a big move. How would I know that I can't swim, and can't use a big move in the water? Sigh, how depressing. Master, just you wait. Sooner or later, I will shock you." Me. Xiao Bai jumped into the war pet space, took out a 4th spirit stone and placed it into his mouth with a G sound. He was stifled in his heart, saying, "I will definitely shock you, I will definitely release a big move, I will definitely do so. I, Xiao Bai, swear on my little brother's oath." Long Fei was also a little self-reproachful. The punishment for the little brother playing just now was a little too severe. When the idea moved and saw what Xiao Bai was eating, it couldn't help but ask, "What are you eating?" Xiao Bai immediately closed his mouth and shook his head. Long Fei did not ask any further, and said, "It was my fault just now, I apologize to you, I'm sorry." Xiao Bai's eyes shook, he was moved to tears. Tears streamed down her face and she opened her mouth to howl, "Master, woo." The moment he opened his mouth, the spirit stone powder within it fell out. Long Fei was startled, and asked, "What are these?" Xiao Bai's expression instantly changed, and he said, "Nothing, nothing at all. Spirit stones. My spirit stones. 50 spirit stones. Long Fei thought about how he was sold to Liu Luoshi for 50 spirit stones on top of the sword teeth tiger spell notice in the auction. 50 spirit stones was 50 million gold coins. Moreover, Long Fei was still thinking about when he should return the spirit stones to Liu Luoshi. After all, they were in need of spirit stones in the sect, so spirit stones were currently not of much use to him. However, who would have thought that in this short period of 1 month, there would only be 3 out of 50 spirit stones left? Immediately, Long Fei was shocked, seeing that there were only 3 out of the 50 spirit stones left. His anger exploded out as though the sky had turned dark, and he said, "Xiao Bai, get out right now. Come out. It's fine, it's just a spirit stone. I won't hit you, so don't worry." Xiao Bai hid himself in the deepest corner of War Pet space and said, "Master, I won't disturb you and eldest sister-in-law anymore. I'm fine here. Come out." Long Fei shouted. Xiao Bai giggled and said, "If I don't come out, I'm going to sleep." After which, he curled his body and his snores echoed in the air. Long Fei really wanted to rush into the War Pet space and skin Xiao Bai. It was too infuriating. Say, "You ate so many spirit stones, why don't you level up for me to see?" He hasn't leveled up, nor does he have any big moves. You, return 50 million to me. He used to be a rich man, but now he felt like he had suddenly become destitute. The 50 million silver that he had obtained from Long Zhanwu was all returned to his big uncle. Now, Long Fei was even more destitute. Xiao Bai muttered, "Soon, very soon. Is this how divine beasts cheat people?" Long Fei wanted to cry, but no tears came out. The leopard girl looked at Long Fei, whose face was filled with anger, and asked, "Big brother Long Fei, what's wrong?" Long Fei threw himself into the leopard girl's embrace and said, "Let me borrow your shoulder for a bit, I want to cry." Long Fei crashed onto the twin peaks of the leopard girl in an instant. His body felt soft, and when he thought of the scene in the air just now, his killing intent immediately rose again. The leopard girl said, "Big brother Long Fei, the fire eagle also fell down. Should we go and look for it?" "Yes." "I almost forgot." Long Fei immediately stood up and mentally shouted to Xiao Bai, "I'll let you go for now, immediately feel the location of the fire eagle." Xiao Bai acted as if he had received an amnesty, and said, "As you command." 3 seconds later, Xiao Bai said, "Master, there is a weak aura about a kilometer ahead. The fire eagle should be right there." Long Fei immediately ran over with the leopard girl. Indeed, it was a fire eagle. If it fell, it wouldn't be as lucky as Long Fei and the others when they smashed into the rocks. Luckily, there were a few tree branches blocking it along the way, otherwise, it would definitely fall to its death. Long Fei took out the highest grade medicine powder and fed it to the fire eagle, then consoled it, "It's fine, it's fine, it's fine now." The healing rate of the healing pill was extremely fast. The fire eagle had recovered from its injuries and was now holding on to its life. However, it was impossible for it to fly again from a new location. His wings needed half a month to recover. Firehawk said gratefully, "Master, thank you." Long Fei said guiltily, "It's my fault, I shouldn't have brought you in." Firehawk said, No. You saved my child. You are my benefactor. All right, you should rest first. Leopard girl, you stay here. I'll see if there's a way out." Long Fei said. "Big brother Long Fei, unless we can fly, we can't get out. Furthermore, this is the evil demon Holy Land, the evil ancestor is here, he will eat the food between us." Long Fei thought, "Is the evil ancestor that dragon?" Chapter 110, Do You Want Me? Chapter 110, Do You Want Me? Long Fei still came out to scout. He came to hundreds of thousands of barren mountains to find the dragon. Just now, that huge eye in the water had burst forth with endless power. Long Fei was certain that that was a dragon, hidden in the water. Water dragon? Didn't they say that the wildfire would set the prairie ablaze? No matter what kind of dragon it was, Long Fei wanted to obtain the dragon's blood. "I'll be right back," Long Fei explained as he walked out. There were 2 cliffs on both sides of the dragon's canyon that even apes couldn't climb, so Long Fei didn't even have time to think about it. There was uneven ground in the middle of the cliffs on both sides of the Dragon's Canyon. There was water in some of the pits, and some were thirsty. At the edge of these deep pits, there were a few caves that were covered in lava. These caves were very narrow, and could shoot out pillars of fire at any time. If one was not careful, they would be burnt to ashes. Fire pillar, dragon footprints, water. All of these things added together slightly shook Long Fei's heart. Could it be that there are two dragons here? Water dragons. Fire dragon. Or is it? Long Fei shook his head and thought, impossible. Other than that, Long Fei was sure that the gigantic dragons were not the kind of dragons like the 8-clawed golden dragons, but the Western world's lizard dragons. No matter what dragon it was. As long as he had dragon blood, that was enough. Moreover, the lizards of the Western world were on a completely different level from the dragons of the East. After clearly inspecting his surroundings, Long Fei moved and asked, Foodie, can you feel if there's anything else around? Because he had not released his big move twice and was punished for stealing so many spirit stones, Xiao Bai wanted to show off and seize every opportunity available to him. Hearing Long Fei's words, Xiao Bai's idea sank and immediately released, covering the entire Dragon's Canyon. He continued to search. Half a minute later, Xiao Bai said, Master, there's nothing abnormal with the canyon, but there's a huge cave in the canyon. The distance is too far, I can't sense anything in the cave. A cave? Entrance? Long Fei's heart trembled, and said, let's enter the cave and see. Then, Long Fei's heart was getting more and more nervous, and also more and more excited. What kind of existence was a dragon? In his previous life, he had only seen it on television before. If he could get a dragon as a mount, then he would definitely be a very eye-catching existence. Walking on the street, isn't the little girl going to be mesmerized? Just thinking about it made him feel that it was a very eye-catching thing. Let's go. Long Fei headed towards the direction of the cave, just as he was about 10 meters away from the cave. Roar! A dragon's roar rang out. A strong and scorching chi swept out from the cave, causing Long Fei to be unable to stand steadily. Next. Rumble. 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 The entire canyon shook, and all the pillars of fire shot up into the sky. The water in the crater started to boil, and the earth started to shake, as if it was the end of the world. Big brother Long Fei. The leopard girl held onto the fire hawk as she hurried over. Bam! Boom! Huge rocks rolled down from both sides of the cliff. Long Fei saw a giant boulder fall above the leopard girl's head, and after swallowing a true pill, he pulled out a dragon salya and leaped forward fiercely. With a single slash, he shattered the boulder and supported the fire eagle, saying, You go into the cave first. Too many boulders. The outer sect was too dangerous. The moment Long Fei supported the fire eagle into the cave, a huge boulder came crashing down and blocked the cave's exit. The leopard girl's face darkened. Brother Long Fei, what do we do now? Long Fei tried using the dragon salya a few times, but to no avail. There was a landslide outside and the exit had been sealed off. Long Fei frowned and said, Right now, the only way out is to find that dragon and let it lead us out. This was the only way. Moreover, regardless if the exit was sealed, Long Fei had to find that dragon. The leopard girl was stunned. There really is a dragon? That is the evil ancestor, big brother Long Fei. Don't worry, I'll take you out. Long Fei smiled lightly and said, You and the fire eagle wait for me here. I'll be back soon. Big brother Long Fei, don't abandon me, I want to go as well. The leopard girl tugged at the corner of Long Fei's clothes, and looked at Long Fei with blinking eyes, as she spoke in a spoiled manner. Her two eyes were filled with tears and looked very pitiful. She had nothing now. Her family and tribe were gone, the only thing she wanted to do now was follow Long Fei, as he could give her a sense of security. Long Fei looked at the fire eagle. Fire eagle idea said, Master, I'm fine, you guys can go. All right then. Long Fei held the leopard girl's hand and said, Follow me carefully, don't run around, don't move about randomly, this isn't like the outside world. Leopard girl was too wild. Long Fei was really afraid that she would go around provoking beasts like she did outside. The leopard girl obediently nodded and giggled. She said, I'm the most obedient, not to mention you're my husband. I'm more obedient, hihi. Husband. Long Fei was a little confused to the point that he couldn't react. The leopard girl had already walked out. She turned her head to look at Long Fei and said, Husband, what are you still standing there for? Long Fei smiled from the bottom of his heart, and thought to himself, that naive and happy leopard girl is back again. Actually. The leopard girl did not put them all down, she merely wanted to appear happier in front of Long Fei and tell him not to worry about her. An innocent girl matured in just a few days. However, the leopard girl would always pretend to be an innocent girl in front of Long Fei, because she knew that Long Fei liked to see her smile. Long Fei chased after the leopard girl, protecting her by his side. The idea asked, Xiao Bai, did you sense anything? Xiao Bai shook his head and said, this cave is too big, it's just like an underground labyrinth. I can't sense anything. Then a little deeper. The leopard girl pulled Long Fei's hand and said, Lord Husband, are we really looking for the evil ancestor? Long Fei held the leopard girl's hand tightly and said, Amen, I want to find him. I need the things on him, and only by finding him will we be able to escape. Oh. The leopard girl muttered, will you kill him? Heh. Long Fei laughed, I don't know either. Oh. The leopard girl began to ponder and said, if it's possible, can you not kill him? Whatever you say. Long Fei smiled, he did not feel that the leopard girl's expression was wrong. In Long Fei's opinion, the leopard girl was too kind. The leopard girl giggled and said, husband is the best to me. Long Fei saw her smile and felt a sense of happiness. Husband's name, when did you make me your true husband? The leopard girl was startled for a moment, then stopped and looked at Long Fei, you want my body? Too direct. Long Fei choked on his words. The leopard girl giggled and said, it's all right now. As he spoke, he took off his clothes. Heh. Heh. Long Fei was dumbstruck and immediately held the leopard girl's hand, saying, no, I was just casually saying it, even if it's like that, I can't be in this place, right? The leopard girl was too direct. Long Fei was completely unprepared in his heart. The leopard girl laughed sweetly in her heart and secretly said, Big brother Long Fei, I knew you wouldn't, heh. However, speaking of which, the leopard girl was too hot. No man could withstand her. How much power does Long Fei need to suppress the evil flame in his body? The two of them slowly walked deeper and deeper for who knows how long. Outside the Dragon Canyon, the gathering of Demon Army S was complete. Riding on the body of a demon fierce violent bear, wearing a ferocious tiger mask, Xiao Wudi waved a weapon made from a skull, roared at the sky, and roared, Target, Wolong Valley, attack me. Ha. 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 The voices of 100,000 Demon Army S shook the sky. The surrounding demon beasts were so scared that they scattered in all directions. Deep in the forest, Long Yun's expression changed as he cried out in his heart, not good. General, what should we do? Long Yun pondered for a moment, then muttered, Long Fei, for the sake of the Long family's army aunt, I've let you down. She had no choice. He could only go back to Dragon Valley and notify Long Lei, telling him to gather the Long family's troops and prepare for battle. Once he returned too late, Xiao Wudi's demon army would catch the Long family's army off guard. At that time, Long Yun wasn't an indecisive woman. Without hesitation, he turned around and said, return to Dragon Mountain Valley and prepare for battle. Riding on the war horse, Long Yun secretly thought, Long Fei, you must survive. Hold. Hurry and return to Wolong Valley. Over the past decade, the demon army had been hiding in the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains. The Long family army thought that the demon army had lost its sharpness and could no longer fight with the Long family army. In these few years, the Long family's defense on the demon territory had also relaxed a lot. If the demon army suddenly appeared, the Long family would definitely be heavily injured. At that time, 100,000 demon army S would rush in and attack Fireglass City. The charge was the Long family. Long Yun knew clearly in his heart that Xiao Wudi hated the Long family. The next day, Long Lei stood on top of the crouching dragon hill and watched as Long Yun rode his mount back. Seeing that she did not bring Long Fei back, His face revealed a pleased smile. Seems like that trash of a kid died inside. This is your life. Long Lei had a smile on his face as he muttered, Long Zhanting, that year, you caused junior sister Yun to feel heartbroken. Now that your son has died within the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains, all of this is heaven's punishment for you. Bang, bang, bang. The moment Long Yun entered Wolong Valley, he immediately sounded his battle drum. Long Lei's face darkened and immediately jumped down from the crouching dragon hill. Who is ringing the drums? What happened? What's going on? Why is the war drum ringing? General Long Yun has returned. Sleeping Dragon Valley Chamber. Long Yun told them everything he had seen. Long Lei said slightly, General Yun, you're saying that the kid isn't dead yet? Right now, he was only concerned about Long Fei's life and death. Long Yun frowned, saying, General Lei, are you disappointed that Long Fei did not die? At this time, the most important thing is to mobilize the Long family's troops against the enemy. Long Lei's eyes narrowed, and laughed faintly. The scene from 16 years ago repeated itself. The last time was because of Long Zhanting, and this time was because of his son. Mph, Long Yun, have you forgotten the punishment we gave you last time? Last time, Long Yun lied and reported the military intelligence in order to save Long Zhanting. At that time, in her heart, there was only Long Zhanting. As long as she could save him, she could pay with her life. That time, she had been imprisoned by 300 men for half a year. However, she had never regretted it. Long Yun was startled. He looked at Long Lei and said, You think that I would lie and report military affairs for Long Fei once again? Isn't it? Long Lei glared at him, his aura becoming extremely unyielding. Long Yun, I will definitely not fight this time. Long Yun looked at Long Lei and Long Feng, and shook his head. None of them believed her. Plop. Long Yun immediately knelt down, and said, 3 senior fellow apprentices, I swear on my life that this time I will not lie about the military affairs. Demon Army's 100,000 people are about to arrive at the Fierce Tiger Pass. Our defense is still in a rush. By the time they enter the Fierce Tiger Pass, it will be too late. Humph. It's this move again. Long Lei's heart ached, and with a disdainful sneer on his face, he said, Last time you knelt in front of the old general for Long Zhanting, and not long ago for Long Fei, and now you're still like this. Long Yun, are your knees really that worthless? Don't forget, you're the Long family's soldier. Long Lei's voice was like thunder. Long Yun laughed bitterly. Are the 3 senior fellow apprentices really not willing to join? The 3 of them did not speak. Long Lei said, Junior sister apprentice, it's not that we are unwilling to join, but the Long family army would not do it just for a useless soldier, don't you understand that? Suddenly, Long Yun suddenly stood up and shouted, Long Lei, you repeatedly say that Long Fei is trash, but do you have trash veins such as his tendons, broken pubes, and the dragon blood that he drew out? Can you still cultivate and break through? Can he still break through to the war spirit realm in less than a year? Can we still go deeper into the Fire Glass Mountain range to find the dragon Salya? Can you? I'm just asking you, can you? Long Yun's voice was extremely forceful. Every sentence he spoke, he took a step forward, and with every step he spoke, he forced Long Lei to take a step forward. Word for word. Long Lei clenched his fists tightly, clenching his teeth noisily. His anger surged up as he shouted, Long Yun, if he wasn't Long Zhanting's son, would you still use Yun Long Army as your guarantor? Will you still kneel down and beg us? So what if he isn't trash? Just based on his negative activation to dragon blood alone, he doesn't have the qualifications to become a divine dragon marquis, much less be in charge of the Long family's army. I will not fight for him. Long Lei had always looked down on Long Fei in his heart, but because of the negative activation to dragon blood, Long Fei was destined to not have the qualifications to do so. All right. You are noble and smart. If you don't send out your troops, you can. I, Long Yun, will send troops. Suddenly, Long Yun's expression turned cold as he strode out of the meeting hall. Long Lei heavily shouted, Long Yun, do you know the consequences of your actions? Stop right there. Did you hear what I said? I told you to stop. Long Yun completely ignored him, stepping on his horse and rushing towards the Yun Long army's camp area. A few minutes later, the entire Yunlong army was out, 8,000 war cavalry, swiftly heading to the fierce tiger pass. In the meeting room, Long Lei asked with a slight smile, "Big brother, could it be true this time?" Long Lei laughed. Long Yun only wants to save Long Fei. If she wants to save him, then let her save him. Humph. Like father, like son. Long Fei, you're dead this time. The 5th chapter was delivered. Once again, it was 5 chapters. Please download, please download. Brothers, all of you can help download, please. 8_841923564554. From the beginning, Long Lei did not send any troops. From the beginning, Long Lei did not send any troops. There was no need for him to gather any troops. At the same time, he was waiting for Long Yun to bring the dying Long Fei back, waiting for her to kneel in front of him and apologize. He believed it. He was right. And then there was Long Fei. After walking for an entire day and night, suddenly, Xiao Bai's idea sent a sound transmission to him and shouted, "Master, something's wrong." Long Fei's expression immediately tensed up. She pulled the leopard girl behind her and whispered, "Something's wrong." Xiao Bai continued to speak. "In front of us is a huge dark lake, and there is an extremely huge aura coming from the lake, and also, I think, he seems to have been discovered." Huh? The dark lake? A huge aura? Long Fei's heart thumped once, and he immediately thought of that huge eye. His heart shivered, and he said, "It's a dragon?" The leopard girl stared at Long Fei and said, "Big brother Long Fei, has the evil ancestor appeared yet? Stay here and don't move. I'll go ahead and scout." Long Fei said. No matter if it was an evil ancestor or a giant dragon, they had to get the dragon blood the moment they came. All the fur on Xiao Bai's body stood up straight like steel needles. He had never done this before. His expression was extremely nervous as he let out a low roar. Long Fei slowly moved forward and according to Xiao Bai's instructions, he quickly found the hidden lake. "Is this the place?" "Yes." "Master, don't go down," Xiao Bai reminded. "Its aura is too strong. I have never felt such a powerful aura before." Even when facing Xiao Wudi, there were no strong practitioners from the Nangong family. Huff. Long Fei exhaled, looked at the lake surface and coldly said, "You should have sensed me by now. Since that's the case, come out and meet me." "Huh? Master, are you crazy?" Without waiting for Long Fei's control, Xiao Bai immediately rushed out of the war pet space and stood beside Long Fei. His body also released an incomparably strong aura. This was the aura of a divine beast. 2 eyes locked onto the surface of the lake and said to Long Fei, "Master, wait, hide behind me. This guy is not normal." Hualala. 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 The surface of the lake suddenly began to churn. In an instant, the calm surface of the lake shook, causing the entire lake to become abnormally restless. Boom. Boom. A huge black body stood up, and when it stood up, the lake water was halfway down. The moment his body stood up, his 2 golden eyes stared straight at Long Fei. Human? Dragon. An incomparably huge dragon. A dragon in the Western world. Long Fei trembled with excitement, looking at the huge dragon in the middle of the lake. He was incomparably moved. "Grandfather can be saved, ha ha ha." Long Fei said straightforwardly, "I need your dragon blood, can you give it to?" Not waiting for him to finish. Rumble. The colossal dragon's Adam's apple was rolling and rolling in a fiery red color. In the blink of an eye, Long Fei suddenly roared out, "He's going to shoot fire." Long Fei carried Xiao Bai and jumped into the lake. Rumble. Rumble. Flames sprayed out. The entire cave was illuminated as if it was daytime. Moreover, the rocks were burnt and melted. This flame. It was simply comparable to a samisen true fire. Too strong. Invincible power. This was the might of a dragon. An existence that could not be matched. "You want my dragon blood? More!" The sound of the colossal dragon shook the cave, causing the rocks at the top of the cave to fall and smash into the surface of the lake piece by piece. Long Fei threw Xiao Bai onto the shore and stared at the gigantic dragon. "I am discussing with you, You ****, don't anger me, shall we? Suddenly, the colossal dragon took a sip of water. Then let's discuss it. When the water entered his throat, what came out was an ice sword. Countless ice swords came out, forming a rain of swords, sealing off all of Long Fei's paths. Ice element. Fire element. Ice and fire dual dragon? Long Fei became even more excited. Dragons with attributes were already extremely powerful, while dragons with double elements were even more powerful. However, facing the 10,000 ice swords shooting out, Long Fei wanted to move and summon his dragon Salia. Xiao Bai suddenly shouted loudly, "Master, let me protect you." Roar. With a wolf's howl, Xiao Bai's body suddenly grew larger, and directly blocked in front of Long Fei, using his flesh to resist the ice sword. Whoosh 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 whoosh. Xiao Bai's body kept on blocking the ice sword, and at the same time, fresh blood flowed down, as the ice sword pierced through his entire body. Roar! 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 Xiao Bai bared his fangs, stared at the gigantic dragon, his eyes sinister as he bellowed, "It's just a giant lizard, is it impressive? My master thinks highly of you if he wants your blood. Don't be so ***King shameless." His aura was majestic and powerful. Arrogant, extremely arrogant. Even Long Fei was a little dumbfounded. He was in the lake, and Xiao Bai was in the lake as well, but he was standing on all fours on the surface of the lake. He didn't sink at all. This required an extremely powerful amount of energy to support it, and why did Xiao Bai suddenly become so big? Could it be? Did he level up? Long Fei was secretly shocked in his heart. The Icefire Dragon stared at Xiao Bai and sneered, "I am a lizard, then what are you? Poor human pet dog." As soon as his voice faded, the dragon's throat spouted out once again. Xiao Bai's eyes became tight, and he roared out, "You still dare to spew fire?" Boom! Xiao Bai's footsteps moved, forming a series of ripples around his body. The ripples spread out, then began to converge, and slowly became a huge wave that reached the sky. From within the huge waves, an incomparably large wolf god rushed out, directly pouncing towards the Icefire Dragon. Roar! Boom! The two forces collided and wreaked havoc in the cave. The entire cave rumbled and countless rocks tumbled down, as if the mountain was about to collapse. Long Fei was stunned. Holy ***T. This is the F***King true skill. Long Fei looked at the wolf god that was made of water, and his heart trembled. At the same time, he looked at the Icefire Dragon through the system. Demonic beast, Icefire Dragon, seal, race, dragon attribute, ice and fire duo type damage. Defense. Health. Description. The evil dragon of the seal in the great desolate mountain. Holy ***T. Defense, damage, and health are all questions. What the hell is this? Long Fei was puzzled. He still wanted to understand the attributes of the Icefire Dragon, but he didn't expect that they were all question marks. At the same time, Long Fei looked at the description. Among the great evil dragons of the seal in the great desolate mountain range, who has the ability to put a dragon's seal here? The dragon race is the supreme existence in the Sky Martial continent. This is too strong. Why is the seal here? Bang, bang, bang. Xiao Bai's wolf god and the Icefire Dragon were still fighting. At this moment, the leopard girl walked to the other side of the lake. The first chapter was sent. Thank you Zhuge Liuyun, insolent scholar, Li Juanqiang, nameless, gorgeous, dazzling, dark god, pitiful sky demon, dreaming young man, sword demon, a life editor, working on the windowsill only for typhoon, leaves chasing the wind, blood dream tears, only I, the one who is not drunk at night, the prince of hell, angel, wind and rain, 0467, Zhao Ziyu, the young master, I, have been handsome for 9 lifetimes, and I have been waiting for your update, so I have no life. The Icefire Dragon was too strong. The Icefire Dragon was too strong. Xiao Bai could only barely hang on. He was just a baby divine beast, and his realm was completely inferior to that of an Icefire Dragon. Being able to withstand an attack from an Icefire Dragon was already quite a formidable existence. This was also the power of a divine beast. But His energy was running out quickly and he could no longer hold on. However, Xiao Bai was someone who could not accept defeat. Long Fei wanted to understand the Icefire Dragon through the system, but the current system's description of the Icefire Dragon was too little. Just when he was at a loss, seeing the leopard girl walk to the other side of the lake all by herself, Long Fei couldn't help but yell loudly, "Leopard girl, be careful, you should quickly go back." The leopard girl acted as if she did not hear anything as she walked towards a large stone monument and knelt down abruptly while mumbling something. At this moment, the fire and ice dragons suddenly became frantic. Roar! Roar! He roared continuously, turned his body, and swept out with his two huge wings. Damned demon clan, go to hell! Rumble! Its wings sliced through the air, sweeping towards the leopard girl. Long Fei clenched his teeth. Whoever touches my woman, dies. Dragon Salia, buzz. Long Fei grabbed onto Dragon Salia and raised his speed to the maximum, ripple tiny step. Whoosh. He rushed out and shouted at Xiao Bai, "Stop him." Xiao Bai also roared, as the gigantic water wolf god clawed down fiercely with both of his claws. Bam! Rumble. The wolf god was cut open. The Icefire Dragon was enraged. It was as if someone had touched his reverse scale and was incomparably furious. "Master!" Xiao Bai cried out in alarm. At this time, Long Fei had already arrived beside the leopard girl with the Dragon Salia and his gaze locked onto her. Buzz buzz buzz. The Dragon Salia began to burn. Dragon Salia technique. Skin open, tendons broken, bones broken. 7 moves were released in an instant, and the saber chi surged. Long Fei did not stop. With both hands on his blade, he raised it up fiercely, gale slash. Flaming saber chi swept out. However, when the blade energy clashed with the giant dragon's wings, it was instantly crushed. Although it dealt a 5-digit amount of damage, it was completely useless. Icefire Dragon's HP. 10 million points. 5-figure damage was like a drop in the bucket. It was completely useless. Moreover, the Icefire Dragon became even more furious. Dragon Salia technique. Then, you people of the Long family should die. Boom. Hurricane cut. Long Fei released the second layer of blade aura, causing another huge amount of damage. Still no use. No matter how strong the dragon race's defense was, it was useless. The Dragon Salia ignored the dragon race's defense. The combination of the Dragon Salia technique was incomparably sharp. But the dragon race's health was too thick, and Long Fei's level was too low. He had no way to completely unleash the power of the Dragon Salia, and this was only the dragon slaying saber, which greatly reduced its damage. It's useless. The Icefire Dragon roared and slashed down with its wings. Long Fei gave up on his remaining dragon chop because he knew that it was completely useless and he was unable to block the attacks of the Icefire Dragon. Protect the leopard girl. Use your body to block in front of her. When the blade-like wings of the Icefire Dragon were still 3 centimeters away from Long Fei, the leopard girl sprinkled a drop of her blood onto the stone tablet. Buzz buzz buzz. Buzz buzz buzz. In that instant, the dust on the stone tablet fell, and countless strange spell symbols were revealed. When those spell symbols absorbed the blood essence of the leopard girl, a strong power burst out. At this moment, a huge chain underneath the stone tablet flew up with a hualala sound. The other end of the chain penetrated through the colossal dragon's joints and locked him down. The power of the rune on the stone tablet shook. The incredibly thick chains made of black gold fiercely pulled the Icefire Dragon and sent it flying. Boom. Smashing against the wall, a bright red damage was marked on the top of his head. So strong that it exploded on the surface. Long Fei was stunned. The leopard girl also stood up. Looking at the faraway ice and fire dragon that was crying miserably in pain, she said softly, "Can you not hurt big brother Long Fei?" Roar. The eyes of the Icefire Dragon turned sinister. The instant it cried out in pain, it pounced once more and roared, "I want you dead." An even more powerful dragon power burst out. The leopard girl frowned. At that moment, the power on her body resonated with the power on the stone tablet, and the runes on the stone tablet flew to her body one by one and entered her body. Boom. The chains suddenly coiled around and once again lashed out at the Icefire Dragon, sending it flying in the air in an instant. He hit the stone wall again. A 6-figure critical hit. Too fierce. Long Fei was speechless as he looked at the leopard girl. He had never thought that the leopard girl would be so ferocious. What kind of power did she possess? Not really. Was that dragon the evil ancestor? Why did he treat his evil ancestor like this? All of a sudden, Long Fei could not understand the leopard girl. The leopard girl knew that Long Fei's heart was filled with questions. She turned around and laughed. Big brother Long Fei, actually. I am the demonic enchantress, and only when I saw this stone tablet did I realize that I was the holy maiden. I'm not trying to lie to you. She looked anxious, as if she was afraid Long Fei would misunderstand. At this moment, the demonic saintess. Bam! The Icefire Dragon swept its wings across and bellowed, "It's your evil devil saintess ancestor that brought me, the seal, here. You should die, ah!" Boom. Because she was explaining it to Long Fei, the leopard girl's reaction was slower by half a minute. Be careful. Long Fei used his own body to block it. Bam! Bang! In the next moment, he was sent flying, smashing onto a wall tens of meters away. Long Fei coughed out fresh blood, his face extremely pale. Seeing that Long Fei was heavily injured, the leopard girl clenched her fists and stared at the Icefire Dragon with her beast-like eyes, roaring fiercely, "Ah!" Boom! 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 The inexhaustible power of the runes swirled crazily and continuously crushed the Icefire Dragon. The leopard girl was enraged. The golden chains whipped the Icefire Dragon fiercely, one to the left and one to the right. The Icefire Dragon was completely beaten up and had no strength left to retaliate. The rune power on the leopard girl's body had been passed down for tens of thousands of years. It was the power of the seal, the Icefire Dragon. Moreover, only the demonic saintess had the ability to activate the runes on the stone tablet. Only the demonic saintess could enter this place. That year, Long Fei's mother gave up entering here for Long Zhanting, and she did not obtain the power of the runes either. The leopard girl was suddenly in a mess. Long Fei climbed up with much difficulty and swallowed a highest-grade medicine powder. Looking at the huge dying dragon on the lake, Long Fei shouted, "Don't kill him first." The leopard girl calmed down. Long Fei walked in front of the huge dragon and arrogantly asked, "Can I have some dragon blood now?" Roar! The Icefire Dragon was extremely unhappy. Suddenly, Long Fei laughed sinisterly, "I don't want your dragon blood right now, I want you." The second chapter was delivered. 8_8419235645 I want you. I want you. Long Fei grinned and laughed excitedly. A crazy idea was born in his mind. This idea made his blood boil, making his blood boil. The leopard girl was stunned, and said, "Big brother Long Fei, what do you want him to do?" "I want him to be my mount." Long Fei stared at the Icefire Dragon, his body releasing an extremely tyrannical chi, which was very strong. "Huh! Master! You!" The leopard girl and Xiao Bai were startled at the same time. He didn't quite understand. The huge dragon even roared angrily as it said with contempt, "Puny human, are you even fit to ride on my back? Not worthy. Ha ha ha." Long Fei laughed out wildly and said to the leopard girl, "Let's see if he can still be so arrogant." Bam! As soon as Long Fei finished speaking, the leopard girl moved. The power of the runes on her body controlled the dark golden lock and she smashed the Icefire Dragon fiercely onto a stone wall on the other side. Rumble. It was another critical hit. The fire and ice dragons had no temper whatsoever. Long Fei laughed proudly. "Are you qualified now?" "Hoo hoo hoo hoo." Fire spewed out of the Icefire Dragon's nose, its two golden eyes stared straight at Long Fei, and said solemnly, "Not worthy." Ouch. His temper is really bad. Long Fei slightly smiled, looked at the bloody groove on the head of the Icefire Dragon, and really wanted to see how irritable you were. Bam! Rumble. Bam! Rumble. Another 2 hits, and another 6-figure critical hit. The Icefire Dragon was gravely injured and was in incomparable pain. It stared at Long Fei and shouted, "If you have the guts, try it yourself. If you want to ride on my body, see if you have the qualifications." He couldn't deal with the leopard girl. Because, when the evil witch was using the seal, he had already set up some kind of restriction, and the power of the rune could cause a ton of damage to him. Long Fei's gaze tensed up. Without any consideration, he stepped forward and said, "You think I'm afraid of you? Big brother Long Fei." The leopard girl began to worry. Xiao Bai also said, "Master, you are not his match." Long Fei smiled and said, "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." He said to the leopard girl, "Drag him to the shore." Dragons were the most arrogant creatures in the world. They were supreme existences, and would not yield to anyone, much less to humans. If they wanted to conquer a dragon, it would be extremely difficult, extremely difficult. However, Long Fei wanted to give it a try, because once the Icefire Dragon submitted to him, he would be able to obtain an unlimited amount of dragon blood. Not only could it save his grandfather, it could also raise the dragon blood activation of the Long family warriors and the Long family soldiers. This way, the Long family's strength would skyrocket. At that time, in Fireglass Dynasty, who would dare to harm the Long family? Even the Nangong Imperial clan had to behave themselves. If he killed the Icefire Dragon, he would only be able to save his grandfather at most if he obtained the dragon blood. This would be too much of a waste. Next, if the leopard girl wanted the Icefire Dragon to die, she would have the strength to kill it long ago. However, she didn't because he was kind. She didn't want to see the fire and ice dragon die. If he could conquer it, it would be the best choice. There was another reason, and that was the most important reason. Using a fire and ice dragon as a mount. Damn it, just thinking about it makes one feel like an incomparably eye-catching existence. Aren't all the women in Fireglass City going to be bewitched to death? What a feeling. Wasn't Nangong Yang the one who caught up to the Heaven sect? Does Dongfang Jian have an Icefire Dragon as a mount? Isn't Zhuge Jianqiang very arrogant? 3 pillars. Didn't the Nangong family look down on Long Fei? Get a dragon to ride back and scare their ass off. Let them know that the Long family not only can kill a divine dragon, they can also control a giant dragon. Fighting against the Long family is courting death. Riding on the back of a giant dragon while hugging a girl, just how cool was this person? Just thinking about it, Long Fei felt energy in his body, and thought in his heart, "This mount of yours, I will conquer it." He had to conquer it. Long Fei walked over step by step. The Icefire Dragon squinted its eyes, with a look of disdain in its eyes. It started to croak loudly, its entire body was red. At any moment, it could use a fireball to attack Long Fei. The leopard girl was incomparably worried. A huge force faintly moved Xiao Bai's body. As long as there was an instant when the huge dragon attacked Long Fei, he would attack first. This was his trump card. "Kid, are you not afraid of death?" The dragon's voice was thick, his breath had already landed on Long Fei's face. The heat was unbearable. Long Fei continued to walk forward and said, "I'm afraid, I'm very afraid of death. I'm afraid that there is no one else in this world who is more afraid of death than me." "You're afraid of death and you still dare to come?" The huge dragon stared at Long Fei. Long Fei laughed and said, "It's precisely because I'm afraid of death that I dare to come, because I want to become stronger, and because you can make me stronger. Only by becoming the strongest can I not be afraid." "Why are you here at the seal?" "Because you're not strong enough. Speak out." The colossal dragon was enraged. "You are courting death." Flames were about to spew out of his throat. It was also at this time. The golden chains clanged together, and as long as the huge dragon dared to spit out its flame, the leopard girl would immediately send him flying. Long Fei said loudly, "Leopard girl, don't move, no matter what I do, you all don't move." The dark gold chain returned to the bottom of the lake. The huge dragon's eyes turned sinister, the flames had already reached his mouth and were about to come out. His flames could make Long Fei instantly turn into ashes. Long Fei stood in front of him, right beside his mouth. Looking at the huge dragon's head, which was filled with flames, he said, "I can bring you out of here. I can give you your freedom. I can let you live on arrogantly." 3 sentences. Word for word. The eyes of the Icefire Dragon darkened. Looking at the human who was only at the war spirit realm, for some reason, his heart trembled. The flame was in his mouth. Spitting or not? Long Fei looked at him, his eyes unblinking, his body unmoving, waiting for his reply. He was gambling. Using his life to gamble. If the colossal dragon spits out flames, then he would lose. The price for that would be death. His palm was drenched in cold sweat, but Long Fei's heart was incomparably calm. He needed the huge dragon. The Long family needed it. Four eyes met, and the huge dragon looked into Long Fei's eyes, trying to see through the youth in front of him. In the end, it swallowed its flames. A contemptuous voice rang, and said, "Who do you think you are? Do you mean to take me with you? If I could have left, would I have waited until now?" The colossal dragon stared at the huge stone tablet. He was a dragon that was tied to a stone tablet. He could only stay here for the rest of his life, and would never be able to escape. Long Fei smiled slightly. He walked to the side of the monument and used the power in his right arm. 3 minutes later, magic power of right hand. Boom. It directly caused the huge stone tablet to collapse. Equals half carat float # life carat. Long Fei turned around and looked at the gigantic dragon. What about now? The moment the stone tablet collapsed, the Icefire dragon suddenly stood up. The dragon's aura diffused outwards with incomparable intensity. He had lost the power that bound him. The third chapter was delivered. This week, there were 3 chapters updated every day. The sea needed a script to hold back its big move, and next week would be a big burst. Please understand, brothers. Let's wait for next week's Berserk. 8_841923564557. Ice and Fire Twin Heavens. Ice and Fire Twin Heavens. The might of the fire dragon and the might of the ice dragon filled every corner of the cave. The current ice and fire dragon was completely different. He had lost his binding. The leopard girl was no longer able to harm him. With a sweep of the dragon's right foot, it drew out the golden chain. Flames spouted from its throat as it burned the chain to liquid iron. The chain on his right leg was broken. The colossal dragon roared towards the sky, its voice shaking the heavens. The dragon's might crushed everything in its path. His body also erupted with power, and with a move, the gigantic dragon head rushed straight for Xiong Longfei. Big brother Long Fei. Master. Both the leopard girl and Xiao Bai shouted. Long Fei was still standing at his original position motionlessly, but this time he bet even more. His back was drenched in cold sweat and his palms were ice cold, but Long Fei's heart was still as calm as before. The dragon head rushed towards him. It suddenly stopped half a meter away from him. "Are you really not afraid of death?" Long Fei laughed. "I've said this before, there is no one in this world who is more afraid of death than me, but what I'm most afraid of is not death, but weakness." The colossal dragon replied, "Right now, there is no power that can restrain me. There is no need for me to follow you." Long Fei laughed. "If you were to leave, you would have left long ago." "Huh?" The colossal dragon was slightly surprised. Actually, Long Fei was not an idiot. He would not break the power that was binding the Icefire dragon, nor would he just stand there foolishly, waiting for the huge dragon to crush him. But, just as he was about to break the stone monument, a system notification rang out. Congratulations to the player Long Fei and the Icefire dragon for establishing intimacy. The current intimacy is 1 point. The 1 point of intimacy was due to him talking about the giant dragon's heart. Thus, Long Fei decided to take a gamble. Break the stone tablet. He was very glad that he had won the bet. The moment the stone tablet was broken, his intimacy immediately soared to 90 points. What could 100 intimacy do? Beast mastery. The second realm was to establish friendship and use one's emotions to bind the dragon. This type of effect was stronger, and the strength of the dragon would also increase. There's still 10 points of intimacy left. How else can we do it? Long Fei kept thinking about this matter. The huge dragon acted as if he had seen through Long Fei, and said, "I know what you're thinking. Long Fei, if you want to become my master, then help me kill her." He stared. It was aimed directly at the leopard girl, the evil witch. The Icefire Dragon said darkly, if it weren't for her devil ancestor, I wouldn't have been imprisoned here for tens of thousands of years. I can promise you anything you want me to do for you, but you must kill her. The dragon's voice was firm. Moreover, his eyes were filled with hatred. Long Fei said without even thinking, impossible, I don't care what grudge her ancestor has with you, but if you want to touch her, you can't. At this moment, Long Fei did not estimate any intimacy. Even if his intimacy dropped to 0, he would not act against the leopard girl, nor would he let the huge dragon attack her. The colossal dragon was enraged and growled, then you will die with her. Suddenly, the colossal dragon raged. Long Fei clenched his dragon sallier tightly and stood in front of the leopard girl, blocking her way. Then let's fight. He wasn't afraid in the slightest. If they couldn't subdue it, then let's fight. His killing intent surged. His battle chi soared. However, at this moment, ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei and Icefire Draconic Dragon for increasing their intimacy by 100 points. Their current intimacy is at 100 point. It was also at this time. The figure looked at Long Fei, then looked at the leopard girl and slowly said, I had always thought that the one who would remove the ice and fire draconic beast would be us, the evil demon race. I never thought that it would be a human, or even the members of the Long family that killed the dragon god. And then, the mysterious man looked at the leopard girl and said indifferently, Child, you have inherited the power of the evil devil rune seal. From today onwards, you are the evil devil saintess, and with the power of the seal, no living being in this world will be able to escape from the power of your seal. The leopard girl knelt on the ground and kowtowed as she said, Disciple will remember the ancestor's words. The mysterious man faintly smiled and said, I still need to thank you. Thank you for freeing me. It's been tens of thousands of years, it's time for me to leave this place. He said to Long Fei, You are the most responsible man I have ever seen. You are not afraid of death nor coercion, and you can bear everything for the woman you love, including death. You have to treat her well. She can put you at a whole new height. Long Fei also said, I will. The shadow slowly disappeared. The Icefire Dragon's body continuously curled up. At the beginning, it was only a dozen meters tall, but now it was only a few meters tall. The aura on its body also gradually weakened. His body curled up into a ball, and he seemed to be sleeping soundly. Long Fei was shocked, and thought, could this be what he looked like when he was surrounded by the seal at that time? And it's an underage fire dragon? Never mind that. Long Fei opened his right hand, and gently placed it on the head of the Icefire Dragon. The idea moved, beast mastery. A network of idea entered the mind of the Icefire Dragon. Buzz. Ding. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for summoning it. The Icefire Dragon slightly opened its eyes, its golden eyes looked at Long Fei, and it grinned at him while revealing its dragon teeth. Master. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the title of Dragon Knight. You have obtained experience points, true breath points, credit point. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for receiving the reward. Check it out. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the joint attack skill Ice and Fire 9 Heavens. Do you wish to cultivate it? Cultivate. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for training Ice and Fire 9 Heavens. Skill path, Ice and Fire 9 Heavens, combo skill, grade, divine level consumption, 10,000 points for level 1, 20,000 points for level 2. Continuously superimposing. Damage, 9 stars ultimate skill, 5% chance of killing, level 2 increases by 5%, highest level 45% chance of killing in a second, once touched by any expert below War Emperor, they can all be killed in an instant. Description, Ice and Fire 9 Heavens is a joint attack skill. It can only be released by communicating with the Icefire Dragon. What the hell? Awesome. Too awesome. Long Fei was excited, he was extremely excited, this skill was too powerful, he could instantly kill all the experts in the War Emperor realm, ha ha ha. This is great. Alright. Long Fei looked at the Icefire Dragon and laughed excitedly, now that you're my mount, let me experience your Icefire Dragon's might. At this moment, Baidu search. Half afloat Xiao Wudi's demon army was already close to the fierce tiger pass. Xiao Wudi waved his staff. Kill. The fierce tiger pass was in danger. The first chapter was sent. Thank you for your decision. I alone, rolling away, Dark God Horse, Inc., Loach, Wolf God, an elder brother has come online, lifeless, dreamless, broken, black, 835, Ching Cheng, Xian, to whom did I humble myself give, Si Qin, Xiao Yao, the pitiful sky demon. Depressing choice. I, Zhao Zilong, was also the commander of the ninth reincarnation, a dejected choice, the leaf of chasing wind chasing, a free swim, love, you. What are you trying to do, Suguo, Tan Wei, elder brother Qing Lin, Xiao Yao, 0252, Long Hun, and Momo Mai, who, and all sorts of playthings. 8_84 19 235 6458. Roar. Roar. Let me see your fire dragon's might. Boom. The ice fire dragon broke through the mountain and shot out from the rubble into the sky like a fighter jet. Wow. Long Fei could not help but become excited. This is too good. Another one with high difficulty. Master, you are done. When the giant Long Fei of ice and fire reached a certain height, he folded his wings and suddenly dropped down. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk it pierced through the clouds and descended in a straight line. Violent winds howled by his ears with incomparable speed. The leopard girl closed her eyes tightly and hugged onto Long Fei's body tenaciously. Riding a dragon and courting a girl. Long Fei roared out in his heart, fuck, who else is there? It felt great. The ice-fire dragon fell close to the leaves and flipped its body over. Its eyes widened and it suddenly stirred. Boom. He once again flew into the sky and into the clouds. It was sunrise. Long Fei stood on the dragon's back while hugging the leopard girl, and watched the sunrise with incomparable satisfaction. This feeling was impossible to imagine in his previous life. And now it was fully realized. Very happily, Long Fei thought to himself at the same time, I will become stronger, I must protect all of this, I want to stand at the peak of this world. Ice and fire. Now, it's time to display your might. Long Fei moved, it could fly, but it was useless. He had to kill monsters, this was a mount. Yes sir. He retracted his wings, allowing the flames and ice to dive down. The monsters in the dense forest were fleeing in all directions, as if they had seen a ghost. The tyrannical power of the dragon was too brutal for them, they had no way to resist at all. Suddenly, there was a rustling sound from Binghuo's throat, and red flames sprayed out. Rumble. Wherever the flames went, not a single blade of grass grew. Ding. Congratulations player Long Fei for killing the blazing dog. Obtained 1022 experience points, 100 true breath and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining 1 point of fire essence chi. Ding. Congratulations player Long Fei for killing a conflagration ape to obtain 1500 experience points, 200 true breath and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining 1 point of fire essence chi. Ding. Ding, ding, ding. The system beep was like firecrackers, crackling continuously. This feeling was too good. Moreover, many of the beasts that were instantly killed were 3-rate monster and beast. Savage. How domineering. Ha ha ha. Long Fei watched as his experience flew up, he became excited. In the future, with this guy, wouldn't I be leveling up like a rocket? At the same time, Long Fei opened up the mount system and looked at the attributes of the Ice-Fire Dragon. Mount, Ice and Fire Giant Dragon Grade, Divine Level 5 Description, possesses 2 skills, Ice Element, Myriad Swords Piercing Heart, Fire Element, and Wildfire Prairie. Possesses a combined attack skill, Ice and Fire 9 Heavens. Currently, his strength can only release the first level. Description 2. Ice and fire dragons require the absorption of ice and fire to level up. Description 3. Duration of 2 hours per day. After that, the user will return to the space within the mount. If he forcibly flies, his speed and strength, his attack will be greatly reduced and his profound chi will be weakened until his death. Long Fei's heart trembled, a mount with 3 attacks, an existence above the divine rank, but this fire and ice is only rank 5. Obviously. The giant ice fire dragon in the cave was a full-fledged dragon. The might that it unleashed was its true might. Currently, the ice and fire beast were still at the young beast stage, so they were unable to release such a strong dragon's might. However, this was enough to draw the limelight, instantly killing the 3-rate monster and beast. To Long Fei, the 3-rate monster and beast could satisfy his needs to level up. However, 2 hours a day was a bit short. If such a domineering mount could be pulled out at any time, how cool would that be? The 3 pillars is awesome. The Nangong Imperial clan was arrogant. The Icefire Dragon was able to grind the feces on their butts and spit them out. Continue to kill. Yes sir. War Pet Space was sullen. Humph. What's the big deal, isn't it just flying? When I reach level 5, I can also fly, chimph. Wait. I want to break through. I want to break through, I want to break through quickly. From the moment the Icefire Dragon became Long Fei's mount, Xiao Bai had been a little jealous. At the same time, he also became serious. He felt a sense of crisis in his heart. He needed to quickly break through, and only then would he be able to receive Long Fei's love. Xiao Bai muttered, I'm going to train like crazy. Long Fei held back his laughter and said, then cultivate. Xiao Bai said, even I would be afraid if I were to go crazy. Long Fei said, then why don't you try and see for yourself? Master, just you wait for me to explode, chimph. Xiao Bai closed his eyes and did not speak any further. Long Fei was grinning from ear to ear, and thought to himself, I never thought that the appearance of ice and fire could actually provoke Xiao Bai. It seems like there was a good saying in my previous life, only when there is competition will there be pressure. Actually, in terms of overall strength, Xiao Bai was above the fire and ice. Especially after Xiao Bai had broken through to the 2nd level, the aura exuded from his body was extremely powerful. Summoning the wolf god to fight was something that Long Fei had never thought of before. To be able to summon the wolf god at the 2nd level, wouldn't that mean that he would be able to defy the heavens after breaking through a few levels? Got it. We'll have to play in the future. Long Fei laughed excitedly. Commanding his ice and fire, he roared, charge. 2 hours later. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, War Spirit level 6. It leveled up. Long Fei closed his eyes and clenched his fists. He could feel the power of the 6th level of War Spirit, and at the same time, could feel his attributes recovering completely. The feeling of his injuries healing was just too wonderful. The fire and ice entered the space within the mount to rest. Long Fei did not rest and said, now it's my turn to hunt. The leopard girl. Since you're here, come with me. I'm going to hunt demon beasts for breakthroughs. Long Fei looked at the leopard girl. He did not want to make things difficult for her. The leopard girl was too kind. The leopard girl hesitated for a moment, then giggled and said, you are my husband, so of course I have to follow you. Big brother Long Fei, you won't throw me away, right? Huh. Long Fei held the leopard girl in his embrace and said, silly girl, what are you talking about? If you lose the entire world, I won't lose you. Ooh. When the leopard girl heard this, she was moved to a complete mess. Seeing her moved appearance, Long Fei secretly rejoiced in his heart, and said, seems like the novels I read in my previous life were still of some use. At least I learnt a few lines to flirt with girls. And then, Long Fei immediately summoned his dragon Salia, smiled slightly, and said, all right, then follow me closely, I'm going to start killing now. Chapter 2. Table of Contents, 8_841923564559. In another place. In another place. The fierce tiger pass was lost. Corpses littered the ground, and blood flowed like a river. For an entire 2 days and 2 nights, 100,000 demon armies fought with their lives on the line to defend against Xiao Wudi and 100,000 demon armies. Demon army also lost soldiers, and the casualties became even more severe. However, this time, Xiao Wudi was determined to kill off the Long family's army. At the same time, he discovered that of the 4 main camps of the Long family, only the Yun Long army was resisting. He didn't know what was happening inside the Long family's army, but this gave him hope. An even crazier attack. In the early morning of the 3rd day, they finally broke through the fierce Tiger Pass and captured Long Yun and more than 1,000 disabled Yun Long armies alive. A little rest. Xiao Wudi did not stop. In these 2 days and 2 nights, Long Lei did not send any reinforcements. He didn't even send a single scout. Sleeping Dragon Valley. Silence. There were only a few patrolling guards, and many of them were chatting merrily around the bonfire. General Long Yun has brought 8,000 Yun Long army to the depths of the Great Wastelands Mountain. It's been 2 days, but there's still not a single piece of news. Could something have happened? 16 years ago, the demon army was beaten up by the Long family's army until they couldn't recover. Have you seen the demons invading the borders all these years? Even if they had 10 times the guts, they wouldn't dare. I heard that General Long Yun dispatched troops for the sake of Long Fei. The last time was because of Long Fei's father, and this time was because of this young master trash. General Long Yun really owes the Long family a debt in his previous life. That's right. It was in vain for our great general to like her so much. This time, regardless of whether she saves Long Fei or not, she will still be punished. Furthermore, that brat Long Fei will definitely not be able to complete the assessment, and her position as the general of the Yun Long army will also be removed. Do you think Long Fei can complete the assessment? Ha ha ha. Just him, a waste of negative activation to dragon blood, could complete the examination? Don't joke around. When did such trash appear in the Long family? That's right. If he can complete the most difficult exam, I'll write down his name. The entire military camp had been discussing this matter these past few days. Seeing that a month was up, without any news from Long Fei, it was clear that the mission's failure was already a foregone conclusion. Long Fei had been killed by the demons long ago, or maybe he was swallowed by beasts. If it wasn't deliberately mentioned, nobody would think of Long Fei at all. Within the camp of the Dragon Mountain Valley's main commander. Relying on his tea, Long Lei was slightly intoxicated as he thought proudly in his heart, Sister Yun, one day I will get you, ha ha ha. Casual. In his opinion, a woman should be taught by her husband and shouldn't stay in the military camp. Women are naturally soft-hearted. Last time, for Long Zhanting, this time, for Long Fei, this was the most unpleasant thing to Long Lei. No matter what. This time, he would not send out a single soldier. Long Yun, this time. Hee. I want you to kneel in front of my bed and beg me, and then. Ha ha ha. Long Lei laughed excitedly. He had waited for a whole 20 years for a woman, and he had even known Long Yun before Long Zhanting, but, from beginning to end, Long Yun did not even glance at him once, and in her heart, there was only Long Zhanting. His patience waned. After Long Fei appeared, Long Yun became abnormal, causing the trace of patience in his heart to lose. Since it was like this, he needed to use some methods. Moreover, he didn't care about that much now. Since he couldn't wait, he might as well use the stronger one. The corner of Long Lei's mouth couldn't help but reveal an evil smile. Junior Sister Yun, wait for you to take off all your clothes and stand in front of me, ha ha ha. At this moment. Bang, bang, bang. Meng Yu's footsteps were like thunder as he hurriedly rushed into the Thunder Dragon's tent. Long Lei stared at him and bellowed fiercely, Meng Yu, you are becoming more and more lawless. Meng Yu's face was anxious, but he did not care too much as he said, Great General, the demon army has pressed on, and will soon surround the entire Dragon Reaches Valley. How dare you? Long Lei grabbed a good blue and white porcelain teacup and threw it at Meng Yu's feet. He shouted angrily, Are you the same as Long Yun? If you lie and report the military intelligence, you can be punished with death for your crimes. The teacup flew in all directions, and the magnetic tile carved a line of blood on Meng Yu's face. His entire life was given to him by the Long family army. Even if he had to take his life, he wouldn't frown even if he had to, so he kneeled down heavily and said, Great General, I didn't lie to you, General Long Yun also didn't lie to you. My Black Tiger Pioneer Camp. Long Lei kicked down, and shouted, Who let you send out your troops? Mengyu, you sure have a lot of guts. Mengyu's abdomen was hit, causing extreme pain. He could not help but spurt out a mouthful of blood, and said, Great General, I sent out my troops on my own. I can receive whatever punishment you want, but demon army is about to surround Dragon Mountain Valley. Long Lei simply could not believe it, as both his eyes stared coldly at Mengyu, and said, What benefits did Longyun give you in the end? You actually lied to me and sent troops. Humph. Junior sister apprentice, I really did not think that you would have a way to tame even my subordinates. I have really underestimated you. Long Lei laughed coldly. Mengyu was pained, and anxiously said, Great General, the demon army is about to arrive. I beg you to give the order to defend, if not, it will be too late. General, I really don't have any relationship with General Longyun. Great General. Long Lei kicked him again, and said, You don't have any connections. Mengyu, do you think I don't know? Longyun saw you before when he left Dragon Valley. Do you think I don't know anything? He was a great general in Wolong Valley, so it was easy to investigate. Mengyu was startled, and anxiously tried to defend himself. Great General, General Long just asked me to apologize to you. I have something to take care of these past few days. I did not have the time to tell you. Ha ha ha. Long Lei sneered, Apologize to me. I know Long Yun's personality very well. Even if she knew it was wrong, she wouldn't apologize in front of me, so why did she ask you to pass it on to her? Mengyu, do you really think I'm an idiot? It was difficult to tell from mouth, but Mengyu's heart was aching as though he was dying. He laughed bitterly. It's over, the Long family army is going to be finished. Deceiving the masses. You're courting death. With difficulty, he crawled up from the ground. His eyes were gloomy as he stared at Long Lei, and said, General, the Long family army is the Long family's, not yours. If you don't want to defend, then I'll go. Finished. Mengyu wiped the blood off his mouth and walked out of the tent. Half a minute later, Pioneer Camp, attack. Mengyu's prestige in the Pioneer Camp was extremely high. Even without the general's order, many people still followed him, and they had all seen the demon army with their own eyes. Mengyu waved his hands, and all the black-armored warriors of Pioneer Camp took action. The war horse hissed and roared. Pavilion C at this moment. Xiao Wudi's demon army was less than 5 kilometers away from Dragon Mountain Valley. Long Lei had never even thought of defending, because he simply did not believe that the demon army could press him to the ground. The third chapter was sent over. Those brothers that hadn't downloaded it yet all helped to download it. Hai Yang was really holding back. Everyone patiently waited. Next week, he would continuously go berserk. Table of contents, 8_841923564660. The Long family army was in danger. The Long family army was in danger. Long Fei was completely unaware. Late at night, Long Fei continuously searched for demon beasts to hunt. At this moment, he had already entered the deepest part of the Great Desolate Mountain Range, which was also the most dangerous place. He had to kill 1 5-level monster and 10 4-rating monster and beasts in order to complete the examination. As for Long Fei, he had already collected all of them. Now, only 5-level monster and 4-rating monster and beasts remained. Moreover, calculating the time, tomorrow would be the last day. It must be completed on this last day. Suddenly, the leopard girl said in a low voice, Big brother Long Fei, there's a dangerous aura approaching. Not waiting for her to finish. Boom. An earth-violent bear roared and stood up. Its paws struck down fiercely and its claws cut through the air. His strength was abnormally strong. The leopard girl. Long Fei shouted, his body sinking into the ground. He leaped up fiercely and stepped on the big tree, then leaped up again, ripple tiny step. Shua. Flashing. With both hands gripping the dragon salya, he slashed at the violent bear. Open your skin. Boom. Fire blade chi was released, the dragon salya was burning, and it slashed down. The earth-violent bear's right arm was placed horizontally above its head. Slashing open the flesh. A scarlet number floated above the head of the earth-violent bear, at the same time. The attributes of the Earth-Violent Bear were revealed. Beast, Earth-Violent Bear grade, peak rank 4 damage, 4.5 stars defense, 4.5 stars description, possesses the power of the earth. Possesses the ability to split the earth with the power of the earth, causing tremors akin to a magnitude 6 earthquake. Huh! Long Fei was startled. Judging from the system's description, it should be a top-tier beast, then that's even more so the case. He chopped down with his blade. With a wave of the left arm of the Earth-Violent Bear, Long Fei was swept out. Long Fei's body flew across the air, smashing a large tree into two. He crawled up from within the ruins and muttered, "Such powerful strength, if it wasn't for 2 layers of defense, I would have burped." At this moment, both of the Earth-Violent Bear's hands formed a fist and raised it into the air, hammering down hard at the ground. At the same time, it roared towards the sky. Shocking force. Immediately, Long Fei shouted at the leopard girl, "Leopard girl." The leopard girl had an agile figure. She gripped her hands in the air and a javelin covered in runes appeared in her hands. She then shot it out explosively. At the same time, Long Fei withdrew his dragon salya, lowered his right arm, and activated his divine power. Before the Earth-Violent Bear's fists could hit the ground, it jumped up and raised its fists. Right arm's godly strength. Boom. It struck the ground right at the violent bear's lower jaw. Divine power exploded. After sending its huge body flying, Long Fei stepped on the violent bear's body and leapt into the air. The shadow of the large power King Kong ape superimposed over Long Fei's body, and at the same time, he hugged onto it and smashed it down heavily. The second combo. Mountain hit Fizz. Rumble. It struck right on top of the Earth-Violent Bear's head, causing its head to explode and crash heavily onto the ground. Ding. Interrupt him. The moment Long Fei smashed the Earth-Violent Bear to the ground, the leopard girl's javelin arrived. Boom. A spear pierced through the violent bear's throat. Poochie. It was nailed to a big tree some distance away. The runes on the javelin absorbed the blood, and then it slowly disappeared into thin air. Symbol spear. This was the leopard girl's unique ability. After fusing with the power of the runes on the stone tablet, she was able to freely manipulate them. It was incomparably precise, and it was even an indicator of the limit. It directly dealt critical damage. Ding. Do you want to release striking attribute? Long Fei hesitated for half a second. No. The striking attribute was very important. He did not want to waste it on the beasts. He wanted to destroy the human-shaped boss Xiao Wudi. Only the humanoid boss could drop such a sharp item. Congratulations to player Long Fei for gaining EXP from killing the Earth-Violent Bear. True Breath, 300 points. Energy, 1 point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the demonic core of the Earth-Violent Bear. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the splitting pulse technique. Do you wish to cultivate it? Huh. Long Fei was secretly shocked. They actually dropped a spirit demon core. Looks like the Earth-Violent Bear is indeed a top-tier beast. Fuse. Naturally, the Earth-type monster core had to be fused. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for successfully fusing. His mastery of the Earth element had increased by 10, and his comprehension of the splitting pulse technique by 50. Cultivate. It was only natural to cultivate the splitting mountain art, and Long Fei thought about the method of fusing the splitting pulse technique with the combo attack, which also meant that it could achieve 3 moves in a row, which doubled the effect of the damage. Continue to kill. Long Fei did not stop. Rumble. Rumble. The heck? 4-rating monster and beasts is indeed abnormal. Long Fei sat on the body of a raging inferno demon ape and panted heavily. If it wasn't for the incomparably sharp dragon Salya S, it would really be difficult to kill. There are still 8 more to kill. Deep in the great desolate mountain range, powerful demonic beasts ran rampant. In just 3 short hours, Long Fei had already killed 10 4-rating monster and beasts. Right now, he was only 1 step away from completing the mission. Long Fei raised his head and consumed a healing pellet, and then a true pill. He examined the pill. He thought to himself, there are only 2 true pill left, the pills are completely insufficient. Next time when I return to the Fireglass City, I will need to buy more spirit herbs. Pills were red and blue. Without these two things, it would be too difficult. The leopard girl leaned on Long Fei's back, sweating profusely as she said, "Big brother Long Fei, I'm so tired. How about we end it here today?" Her javelin was too powerful. Long Fei was reluctant in his heart, but he only had a few hours left. He had to rush back to Wolong Valley after dawn. He did not want to disappoint Auntie Long Yun. He didn't want to disappoint the Long family. He didn't want to disappoint his uncle and grandfather either. Long Fei clenched his fists tightly and laughed. "You stay here to rest, I will kill another one and then come back." The leopard girl immediately giggled and said, "If Big Brother Long Fei wants to kill, I want to follow as well." Long Fei scratched the leopard girl's perky nose and said, "It's all right, I don't want you to be too tired." The leopard girl laughed mischievously. "Didn't you humans say that marrying a chicken will always be a chicken, and marrying dogs will always be a dog?" No. Big Brother Long Fei is not a chicken or dog. I'm going to follow you anyway. I'll follow you for the rest of my life, hey. With that, the leopard girl walked into the depths of the dark forest, jumping around in an extremely cute manner. Looking at the leopard girl's sexy figure, her mischievous smile, and that pampered body that was about to come out, Long Fei really wanted to pamper her a little. Huff. For the mission, I will endure. Long Fei smiled from the bottom of his heart, and muttered, "It's a matter of time anyway, why would I be in such a hurry, hey?" Ah! Suddenly, the leopard girl screamed. Long Fei's eyes tightened, and quickly rushed forward. It was also at this time. Pavilion C. Boom. The leopard girl was sent flying by a powerful force. At the same time, dust billowed in the air as the ground quaked with each step. Two green eyes stared at Long Fei. Long Fei also raised his head and stared at it, a level 5 demon beast. Level 7. The 7 rating monster and beast. The first chapter was sent to thank you Shangguan Xiaolan, Xie Wendong my little brother, Brother Ju, 6901, Qing Cheng, Xian, Shiluo, The Guardian Angel, Loach, Love and Hate Dilemma SK, Rolling Away, Dream Tai, Heaven Demon Pity, Chasing After the Windleaf, Shong Xin, The Young Man in the Dream, Blood Dream Tears, Ha Ha Ha, Squatting on the Street and Giving Rewards, Ocean. Thank you everyone. Level 7. The 7 rating monster and beast. Level 7. The 7 rating monster and beast. Long Fei was immediately scared silly. Right now, he could barely deal with the 4 rating monster and beasts. Even the 5 level monster wanted to risk their lives, and now a 7 rating monster and beasts had rushed out. Moreover, the flickering golden light from the 7 rating monster and beasts caused Long Fei to be unable to open his eyes. Boss. SS. It was several times stronger than the light of the large power King Kong ape. If I kill this guy, once I release the berserk energy. What the heck? Long Fei was almost unable to hold back his emotions. Explode it. In that instant, Long Fei made a decision, and said to the leopard girl, "Fight." The leopard girl crawled up, her gaze tensed, wanting to remind Long Fei that the beast was different. However, when she saw that Long Fei had already rushed forward, she immediately nodded her head, grabbed the air, and took out the rune spear, running towards the other side. Long Fei dragged the dragon Salia with one hand and released the power of a peak war spirit level 6, causing his body's power to rise. The knife dragged the ground. Sparks flew in all directions as soon as the stone was touched. The scene was as if the barbarian king had broadened his sword. The blade was too heavy, Long Fei was unable to lift it with one hand, and could only drag it along the way. In an instant, Long Fei's right arm moved, right arm's god power, buzz. From within his right arm exploded the angry roar of a large power King Kong ape. His entire right arm was trembling, and his strength was wreaking havoc as well. The 7 rating monster and beasts moved its body, it raised its gigantic foot and stomped down towards Long Fei's head. Big brother Long Fei. The leopard girl began to worry. Just now, it was it that sent her flying. The impact was too great. Long Fei raised his eyes slightly, ripple stepping level, teleportation, shua, ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Currently at level 3. The true breath moved. Long Fei's body fiercely flashed, and directly teleported over 10 meters away. This was the limit of teleportation, but this distance was not safe. The huge beast's foot slammed down, but the impact could still send him flying. However, Long Fei did not stop. With the support of his right leg, he suddenly jumped up, and the god power in his right arm was suddenly released. All of them rushed into the Dragon Salia. The Dragon Salia released a loud sound. The Dragon Salia technique's fire blade chi instantly ignited. Using his god power, Long Fei clenched his fists. He jumped into the air and chopped down at the beast. Boom! The flame soared to the sky and slashed down. It struck the head of the huge beast. Rumble! Flames burst out, and in that instant, a bright red damage appeared on the head of the huge beast. Pitifully little damage. F***ck. Long Fei cursed. This damage. It was so low that it could make people's hair stand on end. If the Dragon Salia was activated by divine power, it would at least receive 6 figures worth of critical damage. But now, Long Fei was speechless. How strong exactly were the 7-rating monster and beasts? Too terrifying. At the same time, its attributes were displayed in Long Fei's system. Demonic Beast, Lord of Wild Mountain Devil Grade, Level 7 Destructive Power, 9 stars Defense, 10 stars Skills, Infinite Shield, Magic Chop Demon Description. The Lord Boss within tens of thousands of kilometers of the Wild Mountain Devil possesses unparalleled strength. The Infinite Shield can block all the damage from the War Master, and the Magic Chop can gather all the power of the Desolate Mountain and Fire Demons. Description 2. The Wild Mountain Devil possesses a sliver of the Titan blood lineage. Description 3. Unrivaled. Looking at the Wild Mountain Devil's attributes, Long Fei felt numb on his scalp, an invincible defensive skill, an invincible attack skill. I'll be fucked. How can there be such a demon beast? No wonder the Dragon Salia only dealt about 100 points of damage. Just 10 stars of defense is enough, not to mention activating the Infinite Shield. Moreover, what the hell was a Titan blood lineage? Wasn't Titan usually hiding deep in the sea? Why would they own Titan blood lineage? Damn you. Long Fei cursed in his heart and quickly retreated to the side. Right now, it was getting closer and closer to daybreak, so there wasn't *enough time to find another 5-level monster. Even if he wanted to find the Great Demon King, he would not let him leave so easily. One word. F***ck. Although the strength and defense of the Wild Mountain Devil-S could be considered abnormal, but the stronger the boss, the more holy artifact it would drop. His many years of experience in the game had told Long Fei that this Wild Mountain Devil would definitely drop something good. Thinking like this, Long Fei became even more hot-blooded. I must kill him. The Leopard Girl. Distant attack. As Long Fei spoke, he started to move quickly. Is your divine power not enough? All right. Whoosh wang, open, boom. A strand of power burst out from Long Fei's body, with his double attribute activated. With a move of his right arm, God power began to circulate, and Long Fei continued to move. He was looking for the Wild Mountain Devil's weakness. Any demon beast, even at the perfection stage, would have a weakness. As long as a weakness was found, it would be able to cause critical damage. Whoosh! The Leopard Girl aimed at the limit of her distance. Wild Mountain Devil did not even look at it, and directly let it pierce his body. Instead, it rushed towards Long Fei, and easily uprooted a gigantic tree, turned it into a rod, and smashed towards Long Fei. Teleport. With a leap, Long Fei instantly moved 10 meters away and landed on a big tree. He then leaped into the air and slashed at the head of the Great Demon King once again. Ingest the divine power. Boom. Dragon Salia technique. Boom. The Dragon Salia combusted, and the flaming blade's aura was at least 10 meters away. This time, Long Fei swiped at the Great Demon King's neck, and said, "Take one more slash." Boom. The saber chopped down. Bam. The flaming blade chi that was 10 meters long formed a whip and directly coiled around the Great Demon King's neck. Following the activation of Long Fei's true breath, the flaming blade chi suddenly grew stronger. The flames exploded. Buzz. A 4 digits damage floated above the Great Demon King's head. It was more than 10 times more than before. However, it was far from enough. The Great Demon King had at least 900,000 HP, and such a small amount of damage was completely useless. Furthermore, Long Fei dared to be certain that this was definitely not his weakness. The saber slashed down. The Great Demon King was enraged. He turned around and swept his hand across the beast. Magic chop. Rumble. 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 The entire hundreds of thousands of barren mountains trembled as countless amounts of fire devil energy gathered on the towering tree in his hands, madly converging. 10% of a second. Kill. The slash continued. Teleport. Long Tian looked at the sky full of demonic flames, which seemed to have descended from outer space. His mind tightened as he rapidly escaped. Rumble. The air was burning wherever the magic chop went. Long Fei was not struck, but was pressed down to the ground by the intense power of the fire devils. His entire body was in incomparable pain, and his heat was unbearable. His skin was burning red. Long Fei clenched his teeth. Is that really impossible? Really? I refuse to accept this. Chapter 2 was sent to Table of Contents 8_841923564662. Clapping the ground with his right hand, his body bounced up, and looking at the gigantic Great Demon King above him, Long Fei's eyes became sinister. I don't believe it anymore. Clapping the ground with his right hand, his body bounced up, and looking at the gigantic Great Demon King above him, Long Fei's eyes became sinister. I don't believe it anymore. What boss in the game am I not going to kill? Isn't it just the 7 rating monster and beasts? I, Long Fei, do not believe this. While he was speaking, the Great Demon King was furious because the magic chop did not kill Long Fei. He lifted his right leg and stomped down heavily, intending to stomp Long Fei into meat paste. At this moment, why is there a black dot on the sole of my foot? Is that its hood door? Long Fei frowned. No matter what, I have to give it a try. If he couldn't find a weakness, then he wouldn't be able to kill him. The Wild Mountain Devil was simply too strong. Long Fei wasn't on the same level at all. If he wanted to kill them, he could only rely on his own intelligence. You want to flatten me? All right. Let's see who is strong enough. Long Fei leaped into the air and rushed forward. The dragon Salia moved, raised its hands in the air and suddenly stabbed towards the black dot. Poochie. Break through his defenses. A bright red damage floated above the Great Demon King's head. Ha ha. Long Fei laughed excitedly. 5 figures worth of damage. This is definitely a hood door. Roar. The Great Demon King screamed in pain. He did not give up attacking Long Fei just because his foot was in so much pain. Hualala. The sound of wind breaking rang out. Long Fei was crushed under his feet and he was only dozens of meters away from the ground. It was already impossible to pull out the dragon Salia from the ground. Long Fei hardened his heart and shouted, "Then you will die from the pain. Give up the dragon Salia." With both hands grabbing the soles of his feet, he spread out his limbs, and a strange gurgling sound came from his Adam's apple. When he was still 1 meter away from the ground, toading skill, whoosh, he was sent flying. Boom. 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 The sand surged and filled the entire sky. The entire valley was violently trembling and the Wild Mountain Devil was wailing non-stop as the dragon Salia was completely pierced through the bottom of its feet. Tons of damage continuously floated up from the top of his head. He couldn't stop it at all. Wild Mountain Devil used his feet to try and pull out the dragon Salia's from the soles of his feet. Could Long Fei agree to it? Seeing the Great Demon King's health continuously decrease, this was the perfect time to take advantage of his illness and take his life. Whoosh-wang. Swish. The sound of power burning arose from Long Fei's body. His 4 limbs moved, and his body charged forward like a cannonball, directly striking the Great Demon King's abdomen. The true breath entered the Great Demon King's body. Bam! The Great Demon King was furious beyond belief. He could only give up on taking out his dragon Salia, patting Xiong Long Fei with one hand and let out a furious roar. Ha ha ha. Does the pain feel good? Want to pull it out? In your dreams. Long Fei laughed madly. He only needed to delay the Great Demon King and not let him pull out the Dragon Salia. Seeing that the Great Demon King was about to attack him, he immediately jumped to the other side and mocked, I can't hit you, I can't hit you, you can't hit me, ha ha ha. He had a cheap look. The Great Demon King was even more furious. Being toyed with by a human was something he had never done before. Immediately, both of his feet stomped on the ground, causing him to grit his teeth in pain. The pain was extremely excruciating, and because he pushed on his legs, the Dragon Salia moved even more. Roar! When Long Fei saw the two of them dealing so much damage, he excitedly laughed at them. That's great, come and hit me, come and hit me. He looked too cheap. Even the leopard girl could not bear to look at him. The Great Demon King was even more furious. In his heart, he paid his respects to all 18 generations of Long Fei's ancestors and conveniently grabbed a huge tree that was as tall as the sky. Magic chop. The might of the Infernal King completely exploded. The surroundings trembled and Long Fei almost couldn't stand straight. He thought to himself, damn, does this skill have an seismic attribute? He looked at the demonic fire shooting towards the sky. Long Fei did not dare to be careless, as if he were to be touched by just a little bit of it, he would be instantly killed. Although he looked like a lowly person, he was actually extremely serious. The moment the magic chop landed, Long Fei's body moved, teleportation. Shua had not expected that he could escape from the second slash. The Great Demon King did not stop and immediately executed the second slash, magic chop. Holy sh**t. The system didn't say that it was connected. Long Fei was so scared that he pissed his pants and escaped frantically. Rumble. 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 Magic chop, 18 consecutive slashes. Long Fei was so scared that he almost peed on his pants from the slashing. He rolled on the ground, in a sorry state, while feeling extremely unwell in his heart. 18 consecutive slashes? He stretched out his right hand, wanting to take out the Dragon Salia. But at this moment, he suddenly remembered that the Dragon Salia was still at the bottom of the Great Demon King's feet. Long Fei's forehead tightened, his hand turned into a blade, causing the idea to sink. Wang! Everything seemed to stop. Long Fei instantly entered the state of one with the world. His eyes suddenly opened wide as he stared at the incomparably huge Great Demon King, and shouted angrily, "Who is the 18 consecutive slashes? I'll let you experience the blade-less stream for 199 slashes." Boom! Long Fei's palm suddenly combusted, the Dragon Salia technique released a flaming blade chi, the blade chi moved, Long Fei's body also moved. Skin open, tendons broken, bones broken, divine opened. Dragon Salia technique, 7 consecutive slashes. Gale chop. Hurricane cut. The accumulated 2 layers of Bladeki were released. This was because the body of the Great Demon King was simply too enormous to blow up at all. Teleport. Shua. He landed in front of the Great Demon King, and their gazes met. Long Fei was too insignificant in front of him. This scene was unimaginably shocking. It was something that would only appear in movies. The Great Demon King's eyes were bloodshot, his eyes staring straight at Long Fei. In that moment, he opened his mouth wide and bit down at Long Fei. Bladeless blade. Dragon chop, break it for me. Long Fei screamed, and with a move of his body, all of the true breath was injected into it, causing it to burst out. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk it crazily chopped down. 10th slash, 50th slash, 100th slash, 150th slash. Each level dealt more damage than the previous one. After 150 slashes, the Great Demon King could no longer hold on. With an angry roar, a level shield appeared on his body. Infinite shield? So what if it's a shield? Die for me too. The remaining 49 slashes were still being crazily unleashed. At this moment, Long Fei had completely fallen into a crazed state. If you don't die, I won't rest. Arrogant beyond belief. While Long Fei was releasing the dragon chop, the damage caused by the Dragon Salia was still ongoing. Last slash. Explode for me. Long Fei looked at the last bit of HP of the Great Demon King and slashed, explode. The system beep rang. Ding. The third chapter was delivered. There were still 4 days until the countdown next week. Next week, 7 days, I will get 10 chapters a day. Table of contents, 8_841923564663. The system beep rang. The system beep rang. In that moment, Long Fei moved, release your striking attribute. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Lord of Wild Mountain Devil for obtaining 1 experience point, true breath point, and energy values point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the Wild Mountain Devil's erupting demon core. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the Great Demon King's Abhijna. Do you wish to cultivate it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Magic Chop for cultivating this ability. Please advise demonic cultivators to be able to learn it. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Titan Blood Lineage. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the Holy Artifact Yellow Springs Divine Sword. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Currently at War Spirit level 7. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special reward for defeating 7 rating monster and beasts Wild Mountain Devil. Level +1, current level, War Spirit level 8. Ding. Congratulations to the player Dragon Salya Technique for leveling up. Current level 3. The system exploded. Long Fei's ears went numb from the shock. At the same time, his blood started to boil. Every time he heard a system beep, he would become excited. Berserk. Berserk, what do you mean by berserk? This is F*King Berserk. And then, Long Fei quickly checked the attributes. Item, Explosive Demonic Core, LV7, Description, Inherited Critical Chance Attribute Bonus. Critical hit. Long Fei's eyes shook. Good stuff, this thing is too cool. The idea moved, and quickly said, fusion. You still don't want to fuse the critical element demon cores? This was a heaven-defying attribute. The nature elemental stats were far weaker than the critical hit attribute. If the critical hit attribute could increase critical hit damage, then that was a ton of damage. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for successfully fusing them. Critical strike plus 10%. Awesome. Next, Infinite Shield. Long Fei thought in his heart. Cultivate. Martial skill, Infinite Shield rank, Heaven ranked level 9, Wild Mountain Devil Divine Technique, consumption, 500 true breath points per second, lasts for 5 seconds, description, the Infinite Shield S have entered the Invincible mode. Ha ha ha. Long Fei could not help but burst out laughing. All experts below the War Emperor realm are immune to attacks. What kind of existence is this? Invincible, truly invincible, it's too awesome. In the future when I meet any War Master Ream ranker, won't I just be casually beaten by him? This thing could be said to be the most defensive one in the entire Fireglass dynasty. There are no experts from the War Emperor realm, so it can also be said that no one could break Long Fei's defense. Just a little. Infinite Shield S were exchanged with burning true breath points, of which 5,000 points per second was not something an ordinary person could afford. However, did not have to worry, killing Wild Mountain Devil would earn him 50,000 points in one go, and his current value of true breath was 50,000 points in full strength, so he did not need to worry about consuming a mere 5,000 points in a second. Magic Chop. Cultivate. Long Fei looked at the next item. Ding. Unable to practice. Hint. Only demonic cultivators can practice this martial skill. Long Fei was startled. We still need demonic cultivators to cultivate. Should we enter the demonic cultivator system to cultivate for a bit? After thinking for a while, Long Fei gave up. Because you don't want to waste 2,000 credit point, you have to return to your original form after you've cultivated. You can come cultivate after the next time when you have enough points. Long Fei did not need demonic cultivators now. Titan blood lineage. Long Fei was a little excited. This kind of blood lineage was a top-tier existence. The King of Giants, the king of defense. Item, Titan blood lineage rank, holy vein description. The user can obtain the power of the Titan. The user can cultivate the power of the blood lineage to the peak realm and transform into a peak Titan. Gudong. He can transform into a Titan. Long Fei's eyes lit up. Titan is the overlord of the deep sea. Transforming into Titan is truly too awesome. Should I fuse them? Should I fuse them? Long Fei frowned. After pondering for a moment, he decided to give up on the fusion process. The blood lineage could only be chosen once, and after fusing with the Titan blood lineage, he would not be able to choose another blood lineage. Long Fei was a little unresigned in his heart. Last time, when he was in the Long family's martial arena, he was told by so many people that negative activation to dragon blood was trash. If he wanted to fuse them, it would be like the Long family's ancestor, slaying the dragon god and fusing with the most noble and top-notch blood lineage of the Sky Martial continent, Dragon God blood lineage. The last item, the Yellow Springs Divine Sword. Long Fei started to get excited. This was a holy artifact, the only other being. Item, Yellow Springs Divine Sword rank, holy artifact destructive power, 10 stars defense, sporadic necessity, 9 stars description. This sword is made from the blood of the Yellow Springs. It possesses the supreme power of the Yellow Springs. Once the sword is unleashed, the path of the Yellow Springs will not be turned back until one reaches the underworld. Description 2. With the hidden sword skill Underworld Soul Sword Art, as long as it is used, once it touches passive, the sword will be unstoppable, and it will not turn back until it dies. Description 3. This sword art, is called the Desperate Sword Art. It has no defense, only attack, and is also known as the Unending Death Sword. Once the sword is out, the road to River Styx. Don't look back until you reach the underworld. Too domineering. Long Fei looked at the description and instantly felt his blood boil. This is a sword returning to the west. If you don't die, I won't rest until you reach this realm. It's exactly the same style as this young master. Ha 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 for me. Awesome. The feeling of going berserk was too great. After leveling up 2 levels consecutively, unleashing a cultivation method, holy vein, and even holy artifact, Long Fei's realm had suddenly risen by a lot. After looking through all of this, Long Fei walked to the wild mountain devil's side and pulled out the dragon Salia at the bottom of its feet. If not for the dragon Salia sticking out of its body, wanting to kill the great demon king was simply a fantasy. Shua. Long Fei took out the dragon slaying saber. It was dripping with blood and gave off an ominous aura. Savage. Domineering. Although it was only a broken blade, it still possessed the domineering aura of a supreme artifact. Under the pouring of fresh blood, it became even more domineering, just like a war god. Long Fei said excitedly, "Good brother, I will definitely find the other half as soon as possible." Buzz buzz. The dragon Salia shook, and the blood on the blade fell out, revealing a sinister dragon head. The dragon head faced the sky, as if it was going to fly up. At this moment, the system notification suddenly sounded. Ding. Titan blood lineage was absorbed by the dragon Salia. Ding. Dragon Salia leveled up. Ding. Enchanted dragon Salia. Long Fei was stunned in place. He looked at the dragon Salia in his hand that was wrapped in bloodlight and sword chi, and shouted out with blood boiling, "It actually knows how to level up." The first chapter was sent. Thank you for your love, not just talking about books, crazy people, OMG, Dream Spring and Summer, Kung Fu Lun, Blood Dream Tears, Chen Shao, Mask, Little Fang Zhon, Life is Like a Play, Rolling Away, Yun Xian, Wu Qing, Ha Ha Ha, Dream of Fate, Fate, Happiness, Guess Little Fan, Ling Tian, Li Juanqiang. The Sea thanks you for your support. 8_841923564664. It was too shocking. It was too shocking. Weapons leveling was a very normal thing, but it would not be normal for the weapon to level up by itself. Moreover, why did Dragon Salia level up? It was absorbing the Titan blood lineage to level up, absorbing the blood lineage to level up. What was his name? Immediately, Long Fei immediately checked the Dragon Salia's attributes. Weapon, Dragon Salya, incomplete magic, rank, holy artifact, incomplete and incomplete, weight, 13,000 Jin damage, SSS class, 10 stars higher. Description, holy artifacts that kill evil spirits have a 200% attack effect on evil beings and a 50% attack effect on dragons. It has a dragon slaying strike hidden skill, activation rate of 1%. Description 2, devouring vein demonic, bloodlight and sword energy slay everything. Description 3, currently 2nd level incomplete Dragon Salya, automatic absorption, automatic upgrade. Damn. Long Fei's heart trembled. It looked like there wasn't much difference in terms of attributes, but what the hell was the last line of automatic absorption, automatic upgrade? Has it become a smart weapon? Moreover, upgrade. What level did he level up to? Infinite level up, infinite strength. Would that be sharp? Aya, my little heart. Long Fei could not take it anymore. No matter how demonic the Dragon Salya got, it was still Long Fei's weapon. Ha ha ha. This is great. Long Fei was excited. He had played the game for a few years and had used the holy artifacts before, but he had never encountered a weapon that could level up for him. Let's see how powerful you are. Long Fei held the demonic Dragon Salya and walked in front of the wild mountain devil's head, his hands moved, and instantly chopped. Bloody light filled the sky. Moreover, in that instant, traces of Titan's power was actually released from the Dragon Salya, slashing down arrogantly. Boom. The blade aura extended for 100 meters, all the way to the sleigh, and the towering tree was sliced into two, directly into two. The head of the wild mountain devil chopped down like vegetables. Looking at the Dragon Salya in his hands, Long Fei couldn't say anything for a long time. Too amazing, ha ha ha. Absorbing the blood lineage was just a way to level up, but I never thought that it would leave behind the strength of a blood lineage. It's just like a human, so cool. At this moment, the sun rose. Long Fei placed Wild Mountain Devil's head inside the space ring, then looked at the leopard girl who was watching him quietly on the other side. The leopard girl giggled and shook her head. No matter what you've become, no matter if you're crazy, or obsessed, you'll always be my big brother Long Fei, and will always be my husband. After saying the last two words, the leopard girl's feet blushed. Under the first rays of the morning sun, she seemed incomparably beautiful, just like an angel. Long Fei would always quickly calm down in his heart when he saw her. And then, Long Fei walked up and held the leopard girl's hand, muttering with a smile, "Let's go, you will follow me, the Long family." Today was the final day of the mission. He had to get back to Wolong Valley before nightfall. At this moment, Wolong Valley was filled with smoke and corpses. The defense line was constantly shrinking. The Long family had never been in such a sorry state before. If it weren't for the fact that Dragon Mountain Valley was a natural danger that was easy to defend and hard to attack, the Long family's army would have already been completely annihilated. All of this was because of Long Lei. If he believed Long Yun's words, 100,000 demon army simply could not charge in while defending the fierce Tiger Pass. But now, Long Lei still did not feel that he was wrong, and hated Long Zhanting, Long Fei, and Long Yun from the bottom of his heart. Damned trash. If he did not come to train in the army, how could the Long family have reached such a state? Long Yun disregards the discipline of the military as well. It's all their fault, otherwise. Long Lei's heart was raging. He didn't feel that he was in the wrong. In his view, everything was Long Yun, Long Fei's fault. Long Lei replied, "Big brother, there's no point in talking about this now. The most important thing right now is how to break out of the encirclement. We can't let all of the Long family's troops die in Dragon Mountain Valley." Long Feng also said, "Sleeping Dragon Valley is a dangerous place, easy to defend but hard to attack. Even if they don't attack, this month's emperor will reduce the military's expenses and supplies. The food in our valley can't last for more than 3 days, and the demon army will trap us to death in Sleeping Dragon Valley. I also suggest breaking through," Long Lei said. Long Lei's brows twitched, and said, "Breaking out of the encirclement is like digging one's own grave. Last night, I sent out a carrier pigeon to request for Nan Gongjun's support." At this moment, Long Lei and Long Feng were both stunned. Long Lei did not care about anything else. Instead, he said in shock, "Big brother, how did you come into contact with Nangong Jun?" Long Feng followed. "Big brother, don't you know about Nangong Lei's character? The Grand Elder has clearly forbidden the Long family and the Nangong family from having any interactions." Long Lei sneered and said, "Don't you guys know the current situation of the Long family? If not for the deterrence of our Long family's troops, the Long family would have ceased to exist long ago. Even if it was the deterrence of the Long family's troops, the Long family's demise would only be a matter of time. Do you think that Grand Elder can save the Long family? I have already received news that the Grand Elder had forcefully released the War Master Reem's chi, and is heavily injured, and is now being maintained by the continued life pill. That mediocre person Long Zhanhai? At most, his cultivation is only at War Elder realm. He can't hold up the flag of the Long family. Could it be just based on that trash Long Fei? He's just a piece of trash. I'm afraid he's already dead in hundreds of thousands of barren mountains. Do you really think I arranged for him to enter the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains to train directly because of Qi Longyun? Humph. This is the command of the Marquis Nangong Lai. We also have to plan for our future. We have to find a way out as well. Don't tell me that we have to perish together with the Long family." Long Lei was very excited when he said this. Long before Long Fei came to Floating Dragon Valley, Long Lei had already received his secret order. Next, he used Long Yun's preference towards Long Fei to enrage Long Yun, and directly let Long Fei enter the final exam, the Desolate Mountain Trial. All of this was part of his plan. But he never thought that Xiao Wudi's demon army would suddenly attack and surround them in Dragon Valley, but Long Lei was not worried at all. When Nangong Jun receives the message, he would immediately come to support them, and at that time, he would have the entire Long family's army under his control. The Fire Glass City would also make a move. Long family. He would definitely be killed. Long Lei laughed complacently. "My two brothers, our best prospects are right in front of us. Only by following King Nangong will we have a future, ha ha ha." In another place, Nangong Jun's base. Not a single soldier moved. Moreover, when Nangong Kuan received Long Lei's message, he did not immediately send his men to save him, but instead directly rushed to Fireglass City. The Long family troops were surrounded. The Long family was going to die. The second chapter was delivered. 8_841923564665. Nangong Jun's base. Nangong Jun's base. "General, are we not going to send troops?" Nangong Kuan smiled slightly. "Of course we have to send out our troops, but not now. It's when the demon army and the Long family's army fight to the death. That would be the best time for us to send our troops." "Huh." Nangong Kuan continued to speak. "The Long family's army has won, and the Long family's army is going to die. That way, we can completely blame it on the demon army. This will also remove the greatest danger for the prince. If demon army wins, based on the Long family's fighting strength, demon army will definitely suffer heavy losses, and at that time, we won't be able to fight back. Like this, our Nangong army will support you in time to stop the demon army from invading our Fireglass dynasty. As for all of the Long family's dead bodies, who would bring them up? The losers aren't qualified to be recorded in the annals of history, ha ha ha. With the annihilation of the Long family's army, the last talisman of the Long family is gone. The Long family will also disappear from Fireglass City. Everything is under the control of our Nangong family. Ha 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 ha. Nangong Kuan had been looking forward to this day from the beginning. He had finally arrived. Nangong Kuan slightly shouted, "Pass down my order. 30,000 Nangong soldiers are to quickly gather and get into formation. No one is to take a step out of Black Tiger Mountain without my order." "Yes, sir." Sleeping Dragon Valley, the Long family's military camp. Meng Yu was wounded all over, and disregarding all the obstacles, he charged into Long Lei's tent. He knelt on the ground and said in a heavy voice, "Great General, break through the encirclement. If you don't break out now, the Long family's troops will really all die. I, Meng Yu, am willing to be the vanguard." not waiting for him to finish. Long Lei kicked Meng Yu's lower jaw, his eyes opened wide as he shouted, "Meng Yu, I have a limit to how I can endure, and you are not the one to teach me how to do it." Bam! This kick was extremely powerful, and directly caused Meng Yu to spin 360 degrees, heavily smashing him to the ground. Meng Yu spat out a mouthful of blood, gnashed his teeth, and said, "Great General, Demon Army has not attacked for so long, so we must be gathering our power. We will definitely be able to catch them off guard if we break out of the encirclement now, I beg of you." Bam! He kicked out again. Was kicked out of the tent. Long Lei walked out and shouted, "Meng Yu, if you dare commit an offense against your superiors, remove your Pioneer Camp Battalion commander position. If you continue committing an offense, we will punish you according to the military law." Following that, Long Lei's voice was like a loud bell. It resounded throughout the entire Wolong Valley, and said, "Without my order, no one is allowed to break out, otherwise, they will be treated as deserters, and will be killed." As soon as his voice faded, all the warriors in Dragon Mountain Valley felt a chill in their hearts. The Long family's fighting strength was very strong. Even if they were surrounded and placed in dire straits, their fighting strength would not decrease by even a little bit. Because the Long family's soul would never be defeated, never yield. The more desperate the situation got, the stronger the Long family's combat effectiveness would be. Everyone knew that this was the best time to break out of the encirclement, but Long Lei had chosen to stay put and defend the valley. This was only secondary. More importantly, it had shaken the morale of the 20,000 soldiers of the Long family. This is the most deadly. How could this be? Are we going to wait for death in Wolong Valley? What the hell is going on? Why would General Long Lei give such an order? Demon Army is resting. If we attack at this time, we will definitely kill them all and break out of the encirclement. Even the most ordinary soldiers could think of such a tactic. How could Long Lei not think of this? Big brother, even if we choose Nangong Jun, we still have to break through. However, his army and Long Feng's army had suffered heavy losses, and was simply unable to contend against Long Lei. Moreover, if they were to engage in internal strife at this time, they would die even faster. The only thing they could do was urge Long Lei to break out of the encirclement. Long Feng also said, "That's right, big brother. Let's break out of the encirclement." Long Lei smiled leisurely, "You guys are still too young. We choose to break out, and even if we succeed in breaking through, our losses would still be heavy. The Long family's army can be considered our bargaining chip. If our bargaining chip is too light, how can we negotiate with Nangong Lei? At that time, we will only be looked down upon. More than 20,000 soldiers of the Long family are our bargaining chips. If we want to be recognized and get a higher rank, we must ensure that our bargaining chips are not reduced." Long Lei laughed. "Nangong Jun will definitely come to provide assistance, because Nangong Lei would never dream about obtaining the support of the Long family's troops. In the Fireglass City, any family will definitely want to obtain the control of the Long family's troops, so Nangong Lei will definitely send reinforcements." Long Lei firmly believed in it. However, he did not think about the consequences if Nangong Jun did not send out his troops. Long Lei and Long Feng looked at each other. They knew very well that they could no longer persuade Long Lei to turn back. "Big brother, since you've made your decision, let's go back and make some preparations," Long Lei said. Long Lei looked at them, his eyes narrowed, and smiled. "You two wouldn't betray me, right?" The two of them felt their hearts tremble, and their faces changed slightly. Long Feng laughed. "Big brother, what are you saying? We three brothers came here together, and we also want a better future. Ha ha ha. This is a smart person's choice." Long Lei laughed with relief, and said, "All these years I worked hard for Long Sanfeng, what did we get? Nothing. Follow the Nangong King. Gold, beauties, power, everything. Just wait and enjoy, ha ha ha." Long Lei had already fallen into madness. Having worked hard for the Long family all these years, his heart was filled with accumulated resentment. Especially after Long Yun led his troops into the fierce Tiger Pass, the resentment in his heart completely exploded out. He wanted to choose his own path, a path that led to wealth and prosperity. Long Fei. Long Fei brought the leopard girl and quickly rushed in the direction of Dragon Mountain Valley. Along the way, he felt that something was wrong. He had never encountered a single demon beast, so it was very strange in the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains. When he arrived at the fierce tiger pass, the blood was black and the ground was littered with corpses. There are all Yun Long armies, so Long Fei's heart immediately sank. No wonder Xiao Wudi did not continue searching, so it turns out. This is bad. Wolong Valley. Long Fei's heart sank, and immediately rushed out. It was also at this moment. Within a tent in Dragon Mountain Valley. The Black Dragon Pioneer Camp has already been gathered. We have made all the necessary preparations. Long Shan said in a low voice. Long Lei asked, "How is Meng Yu?" Table of contents, Long Shan said, "Our battalion commander is fine. He has been mobilized by the Pioneer Camp. Now, the Pioneer Camp will only listen to him." "All right." Long Feng took a look at Long Lei and said, "The horn is for you to summon us all to break out of the encirclement." Chapter 3 was sent over. The countdown to the explosion lasted 3 days. Those brothers that didn't download it, just download it and know about it immediately. 8_8419235646. Long Lei was only Long Lei. Even if he was a great general, he could not represent the Long family's army. Long Lei was only Long Lei. Even if he was a great general, he could not represent the Long family's army. There were many people like Meng Yu. Moreover, the Grand Preceptor had an extremely high status in the Long family's army, so not everyone would betray him. Meng Yu's Pioneer Camp. The Lightning Dragon Army and the Wind Dragon Army had a total of close to 5,000 people. Facing Xiao Wudi's 60,000 demon army, breaking through would be extremely difficult. It was extremely difficult. The difference in numbers was like the difference between heaven and earth. However, they didn't have a choice. They all knew in their hearts that if they didn't break out, they would only wait for death. Waiting for Nangong Jun's support? That was a dream. Half an hour later. Woo. On the hill, a soldier blew the horn. Next. Meng Yu held onto his steel spear, mounted on his horse and roared, "Long family soldiers will never lose, go out and kill for me." As soon as his voice faded, the black-armored soldiers rushed out in unison, shouting in unison, "Charge!" At the same time, on the other two sides, the Electric Dragon Army and the Wind Dragon Army attacked at the same time. All of a sudden, the sand and dust filled the sky above Dragon Mountain Valley. The fierce cries of horses and their murderous cries shook the sky. "If you don't want to stay here and wait for your death, then come with me. The Long Army will never surrender. Kill." On the way out, he continued to attract more and more people to join him. The more people there were, the greater the chances of them breaking through the encirclement. Long Lei crushed the teacup and rushed out of the tent. His voice was like thunder. He roared, "Anyone who dares to leave the army camp will be sentenced to death for treason. Who dares to leave?" The voice was so intimidating that the soldiers of the Thunder Dragon Army became hesitant. "If you stay, you'll die. Those who want to survive, follow me." Meng Yu waved his arms and rushed towards the encampment's gate and roared, "Kill!" Clamping his legs, the war horse let out a cry and rushed out of Dragon Mountain Valley. Long Shan followed closely behind, his blood boiling. If they fought on the battlefield, men would be treated as such, so what was there to be afraid of? Kill. Nearly 6,000 people rushed out of Wolong Valley. Inside the demon army's tent, Xiao Wudi laughed coldly and said, "I knew you all would break out at this time. I had long prepared everything for you all. Fierce Demon Elephant Legion, prepare. Surround them all. I will kill every single one of them." He said this with gritted teeth. "Give the order." Bam! 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 In the depths of the forest, a towering tree was knocked down. Hundreds of gigantic demonic elephants charged out like thunder. The demonic elephant was clad in armor. The runic outlines of evil were engraved on the back of the demonic elephant, as the power of these runes controlled them. Several people were standing on the back of the demonic elephant, waving their whips as they commanded. At the same time, warriors of the fierce tiger tribe and the heavenly dog tribe quickly encircled them from both sides. They were determined to encircle the army that had broken out of the encirclement. "I'll clear the way." Meng Yu's legs stomped on the ground, and he flew up into the air, the fine steel dragon spear in his hands thrusting outwards. It directly pierced towards that gigantic demonic elephant. Boom! Boom! One spear slay, but it only managed to injure the demon elephant a little. The demon elephant's nose swept out, striking Meng Yu ruthlessly in the waist. The moment Meng Yu landed, he pushed himself up with his dragon spear and leaped into the air, directly attacking the 5 demon warriors on the demonic elephant's back. At the same time, Meng Yu took action. The battle was imminent. Pioneer Camp led the way. The Lightning Dragon Army and the Wind Dragon Army didn't slow down in the slightest as they swiftly rushed out. It was just that. Facing the overwhelming demon army and the gigantic demon beasts, they seemed to be unable to do anything. The demonic elephant blocked the way. Its huge body was hard to move. With 2 loaves of bread, the number of people increased by several times. In a short 10 minutes, Meng Yu and the rest found it difficult to even move a single step. Sleeping Dragon Valley, Long Lei's camp. A deputy general anxiously walked in and said, "General, the demon army has already been affected by Long Lei and Long Feng. Right now, both sides have empty defenses. We can take advantage of it and break out of the encirclement easily. Give me 3,000 soldiers, I'm willing to be the vanguard." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Lei suddenly moved. A wave of dense power burst out from his right palm and struck the face of the deputy general, instantly killing him. His voice became gloomy. "Whoever dares to mention breaking through the encirclement again, he will end up in the end." Within the tent, the vice-general's expressions went grim, and they didn't even dare breathe heavily. Long Lei said solemnly, "If they want to go out and throw away their lives, let them go. Only those who remain can survive. Do you understand?" All the deputy generals nodded without saying a word. They didn't know what Long Lei wanted to do, but now was the best time to do it. Furthermore, there wouldn't be too many casualties. If the Thunder Dragon army were to move, even though Long Lei and the others would definitely be able to catch Demon Army unprepared, but Long Lei actually chose to stay put. They didn't understand. They didn't dare to ask. Because the anger from Long Lei's body made them feel suffocated. Black Tiger Mountain. Nangong Jun had already arrived. They were all hidden in the dense forest, and 10 kilometers in front of them, they could already hear the sounds of fighting. A scout swiftly returned to report. Long Lei and Long Feng, the 2 generals, have already led 6,000 of the Long family's troops to kill their way out. They are currently surrounded by the demon army. Nangong Kuan laughed complacently and said, "Seems like the Long family's army is not made of iron. Long Lei will definitely not be able to suppress the others. That's for the best." Long Lei, once Long Feng's men die, that old guy, Xiao Wudi, will definitely attack Huang Long directly and directly attack Dragon Valley. At that time, Long Lei will have no choice but to retaliate. Long Lei, you want to maintain your strength as a bargaining chip between us, right? Ha ha ha. You really know how to daydream. Nangong Kuan retracted his laughter and said, "Surround again." "Yes, sir. In the battlefield. It's surrounded. I can't get out. The front, back, left, and right sides are all blocked. There are simply too many demon armies here. So what if there are more people? We are the Long family's troops, the undefeated Long family's troops. Bring out the aura of our dragon family's ancestors chasing us down after the evil demon for 1,000 miles. Kill." There was no retreat, and that was the only way to unleash a stronger combat strength. In any case, it would be death. Killing one more was still one more, but killing 2 more would earn him 1 more. With Meng Yu blocking at the front, facing the oncoming gigantic devil elephant, step by step, the encirclement around him continued to shrink, and his heart fell into despair. Although he didn't say it on the surface. However, these people all knew clearly in their hearts that they would undoubtedly die today. No one could save them. No one would save them. It was a truly hopeless situation. At this moment, if Long Lei were to send troops to save her, She would definitely be able to do so. Many vice-generals wanted to persuade him, but they didn't dare to do so and watched as the Long family soldiers fell one after the other. Their hearts were filled with resentment. Equals semi-floating life plus, in the distance. Long Lei laughed coldly. This is what happens when you betray me. Ha ha ha. Long Lei, Long Feng, this is what will happen to you too. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, a draconic roar descended from the sky, followed by a furious roar from the clouds. I, your father, am back. Chapter 1. I have been handsome for 9 lifetimes, and I am a tyrant. Guess, dream fate, the world outside the world, Loach, brain-nourishing world, Dugu witch, Xiong Zai, sky demon pitiful, minute to GE, girl's mouth hard to kiss, everything is fate, happiness in bubbles, Xiaofan, Dugu Hun, number 221, bookworm, Tian Xing, Xiao Xin, blood dream tears, number 126, Cao Jun, Luo Hang, I love you so much in the past. His voice was like thunder, like the voice of a war god. His voice was like thunder, like the voice of a war god. Ice and fire broke through the clouds. Floating in midair, Long Fei was furious as he watched the scene below. He bellowed out, someone who dares to go against the Long family's army, die. The flames and ice fell down in a straight line, continuously spinning in the air. When there was still a few meters between him and the ground, he turned around and his throat made gurgling sounds. Following which, flames spouted out of his mouth. Hualala! 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 Wherever the flames went, there would be countless screams of agony. Everyone would flee while some would be burnt to ashes. In Long Fei's mind, ding ding ding. The system beep exploded continuously. Dragon! Fire dragon! It's a dragon! It's young master Long Fei. Young master Long Fei is riding on a fire dragon. All of a sudden, everyone was stunned, even the demon army. They stared at the sky blankly, as if they had forgotten that they were fighting. The ice dragon turned around and shot straight into the sky. The huge mouth absorbed the water in the air and sucked it all into its body. The dragon roared and fell down again, roaring at the dense crowd of demon army. Ice soared like rain. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk. The demon that was hit by the ice sword either died or cried out miserably. Immediately, the demon army was thrown into chaos. Amongst the crowd, Long Shan laughed wildly in excitement. It's young master Long Fei, ha ha ha. Who dares to say that young master Long Fei is trash? Even dragons have surrendered, ha ha ha. Too cool. This is just too cool. Riding a dragon. In the tens of thousands of years of history of Fire Glass Dynasty, there has never been a single person that has ridden a giant dragon. The young master is the first person, ha ha ha. The Long family not only can slay dragons, but they can also subdue dragons. The young lord is mighty. The young lord is domineering. In an instant, Meng Yu stared at the sky, looking at Long Fei. He felt an incomparable amount of worship in his heart. Good boy. At the same time, Meng Yu moved his dragon spear and roared like thunder. Kill, kill these dogs. Kill, kill, kill. Killing intent permeated the air and the sound of battle shook the heavens. Xiao Wudi's face became incomparably gloomy as he stared at Long Fei, who was riding on a huge dragon in the air. The rage in his heart raged as he gnashed his teeth and shouted, Long Fei, you're not dead yet. Ah! He roared. Xiao Wudi's aura exploded, and he instantly entered the second stage of evolution, the power of the tiger on his body exploding outwards. At the same time, he decisively said, everyone rush into the Long family's army. The huge dragon can only deal large-scale damage. As long as you rush into the Long family's army, he won't dare to spew fire. Yes sir, Xiao Wudi ordered. In order to survive, Demon Army rushed into the Long family's army even more ferociously. This time, they were all battling. Just as Xiao Wudi had said, once the Long family army was mixed in the crowd, Long Fei could not order the giant dragon to shoot out flames, because it would harm his own people. All of a sudden, Long Fei controlled the ice and fire to attack from the side, causing the destructive force to decrease greatly. However, Long Fei continued to kill. The corners of Xiao Wudi's eyes twitched as he bellowed, "Bring those captives out here. Those colossal dragons spouted fire, right?" All of a sudden, a huge cage was pushed out. Under the cover of darkness, over 1,000 Life Yun Long army were imprisoned inside, including Long Yun. Xiao Wudi stared at Long Fei, who was in the sky, and laughed wildly. "Long Fei, I never thought that you would actually still be alive. Pull it out. Kill them all." The cage opened, and dozens of Yun Long army soldiers dragged them out, and faced Long Fei. Kill. Crack. Catcher, catcher. Dozens of heads of Yun Long army fell to the ground, blood spewing out from their mouths. Xiao Wudi laughed wildly in a sinister manner. "Ha ha ha. Long Fei, you bastard, is this good? Ha ha ha. The Long family's army is the root of your Long family. Today, I will uproot your Long family, woo ha ha." Continue to kill. Another group of Yun Long army soldiers with their hands and feet tied up came out. The hand raised and the knife fell, and the head rolled down. "Ah!" Long Fei raged, incomparably raged. Seeing Yun Long army die one by one, the anger in his heart burst out like a volcano. Long Fei said solemnly, "Xiao Wudi, I will kill you, just like I will kill your son." Xiao Wudi's eyes turned sinister, and his anger soared to the sky. "Ha ha ha. Long Fei, come on, come and kill." He had gone berserk. He was completely enraged. Long Fei was extremely angry in his heart. The idea connected to the ice and fire, and asked, "Is the distance far enough?" "No way." Huff. Long Fei exhaled, and asked, "Xiao Wudi, what do you want?" Xiao Wudi laughed coldly, and said, "It's simple, I'll take your life." Long Fei rolled his eyes and said, "Okay, I will give you my life, release them." Long Fei rode on top of the ice and fire as he slowly approached. When he was a distance away, he asked, "Is the distance enough?" "No way." Long Fei got closer. Xiao Wudi was not an idiot. In his heart, he suspected that the dragon was the evil ancestor from the Dragon Canyon. While they were talking, he grabbed onto a woman and placed her in front of him, sneering, "Long Fei, you must know her, right? She's an old acquaintance of mine. That year, she was the one who brought the Long family army into demon territory and saved your father from my hands. Now, it's your turn to save her." Dragon Cloud. Long Yun looked at Long Fei, who was riding a dragon in the sky, with incomparable excitement in his heart. He was happy for Long Fei and said, "Long Fei, don't worry about me." Xiao Wudi slapped down. "Pa." Blood hung from the corner of Long Yun's mouth. Xiao Wudi sinisterly replied, "If you hadn't led the troops back then, Long Zhanting would have already died in my hands." "Ah." General Long Yun. Xiao Wudi, *CK your ancestors for 18 generations. The Long family army was furious. Meng Yu, Long Lei, and Long Feng were also enraged, and all the Long family warriors who rushed out were furious. The more furious they became, the more excited Xiao Wudi became. He slapped them hard a few more times, and said, "Long Fei, is this great?" Cluck, 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 cluck. Long Fei clenched his fists tightly, the key sound was released, his anger nearly made him lose his mind. Xiao Wudi laughed out loud and said, "Now, kneel down in front of me and die. Long army, everyone kneel." Long Fei was furious. He hated threats the most. He had threatened him with the Long family, and Long Yun had an extraordinary significance to him. He didn't want to see Long Yun die. Seeing that Long Fei was still getting closer and closer, Xiao Wudi directly grabbed onto Long Yun's head and bellowed, "Long Fei, I'll make you die so you can kneel in front of me." He roared. It was also at this time. A sharp voice came out from the dense forest, "Xiao Wudi, return my clan's lives." As soon as his voice faded, a flick was fired. The javelin carried the power of runes. Xiao Wudi's face changed. At the same time, the ice and fire suddenly took a big step forward. The idea moved, and said to Long Fei, "Master, the distance is enough." Chapter 2. 8_841923564668. Master, the distance is enough. Master, the distance is enough. A voice traveled into Long Fei's mind. Immediately, Long Fei didn't hesitate at all. In that instant, the idea moved and directly entered the fire and ice brain. At the same time, the ice and fire dragon might idea fused into Long Fei's sea of consciousness. Their minds were linked. Long Fei's gaze tightened as his eyes locked onto the leopard girl who was pouncing crazily towards the dense forest. Ding! Target locked. Crack! 10,000 points of true breath value dropped sharply as Long Fei roared, Ice and Fire 9 Heavens. The first stage. Prairie Burning Ice. Roar! Long Fei's and the Ice-Fire Dragon's combination skill had a 5% chance of instantly killing them. As long as they were touched, all the experts below War Emperor Realm would be killed in an instant. Boom! Boom! Above the 9th heaven, on the first floor, ice and fire fused together, and like a pillar of light descending from the heavens, it directly inserted itself into Xiao Wudi's body. Crack! Xiao Wudi was nailed to the ground by the light pillar and his body was penetrated by it. Ah! Ah! Xiao Wudi screamed out in pain. He did not know how to defend against this power at all. He did not even have the time to defend against it. The light pillar exploded on his body, causing his internal organs to ache. Xiao Wudi's body also kept changing. Ah! The third stage. Bam! His body suddenly changed. His body seemed to explode as it swelled up to become a huge black tiger. Even so, the light pillar was still staring at him. Xiao Wudi was not able to move at all. The top of his head still continued to exude bright red damage. Long Fei was greatly shocked in his heart. Is this the combined attack skill? The power of the outer world, damn it, it's too cool. It's completely like a spear from the outer world. It's pierced into his body all of a sudden. Nailed to the ground, unable to move. Long Fei was shocked. Everyone was shocked. What kind of power was this? What kind of cultivation technique was this? They had never seen it before. Everyone was staring at Xiao Wudi. Xiao Wudi's powerful body was continuously resisting and struggling, but he was still unable to move or struggle free. Can you kill him instantly? Long Fei looked at the bright red damage that kept appearing above Xiao Wudi's head, and his heart skipped a beat. What if there is no instant kill? He had to be on guard. This was because the chances of success were very low with only 5%. No way. Long Fei's heart shook, and the idea said, Ice and Fire, spray him again. There was a gurgling sound in the Ice-Fire Dragon's throat, but after circulating it for a few seconds, the flames were unable to come out. The Ice-Fire said weakly, Master, I've used up all of my energy. I need some time to rest. I'm afraid now. The fire and ice were getting lower and lower, and the sound was also incomparably weak. To Long Fei, it was equivalent to 10,000 true breaths, but to him, it was equivalent to hollowing out all of his strength. Long Fei immediately said, You know how to ride space, leave the rest to me. While they were talking, the idea controlled and directly withdrew the fire and ice back into its mount space. Long Fei took out the dragon Salia that had been possessed and descended from the skies, slashing down with his blade. Xiao Wudi, your father is here. The saber chopped down. The blood-red aura extended 10 meters outwards as a blood-red light shot into the sky. At this moment, the sky returned back to normal, the whirlpool of 9 heavens disappeared, and the light pillar on Xiao Wudi's body also disappeared. A huge hole appeared in his chest, and blood spurted out crazily from it. Looking at Long Fei who had descended from the skies, he gritted his teeth so hard that they creaked as he roared furiously, Long Fei, I'm going to kill you. When had he ever been in such a sorry state? Even 16 years ago, he had never been in such a sorry state. He was in a bad mood. Looking at Long Fei's blade cutting down, his entire body exploded, the power of the War Elder Realm exploding out as a punch was punched out. Young Lord. Big brother Long Fei. Young Lord. It was true that Xiao Wudi was heavily injured, but his cultivation was only at the War Elder Realm. Long Fei was only at the War Spirit Realm, he was not his match. The leopard girl made a grasping motion in the air, and her javelins shot out. Whoosh, 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 Xiao Wudi was too fast, she could not even lock onto the javelin. Meng Yu pushed himself off the ground with his dragon spear and leapt high into the air, thrusting straight towards Xiao Wudi. Long Yun's heart sank as he shouted, "Long Fei, run!" Not a match. The difference in levels was too great. They were not on the same level at all. Moreover, in Xiao Wudi's fury, for the demons of the beast bloodline, rage meant an increase in strength, speed, and defense. His full-powered punch could instantly kill Long Fei. "It's over, young master. It's over, it's all over." Everyone in the Long family's army felt as if their hearts had fallen into a deathly stillness. In the distance, on the hill, Long Lei revealed a proud smile. "Trash is trash, even brains are trash. I really don't know what he is thinking. That's fine too, we didn't die in the great desolate mountain range, it's the same if we die at Xiao Wudi's hands, ha ha ha. No one can stop him, ha ha ha." Long Lei was laughing maniacally. When he saw Long Fei riding on a huge dragon out there, his heart tightened and he was extremely unhappy. The flames of anger in his heart churned, and he even thought that his chance was going to fail. However, he never thought that Long Fei would jump down from the giant dragon's body and fight Xiao Wudi head-on. He was overjoyed. If Long Fei died, the Long family's army would completely lose their fighting strength, and would be killed by the evil demons. At that time, it would be time for him to take control. "Idiot!" Long Lei laughed excitedly. "Long Fei, accompany my son." Xiao Wudi rushed into the sky, his right arm moved, dense primeval demon energy exploding out. The punch tore through the air. The wind from his fists struck at Xiong Long Fei like heavy thunder. Long Fei grinned and sneered, "You want to kill me? With just you? Not worthy at all. Xiao Wudi, go to hell to accompany your son." In that instant, the instant Long Fei felt the entire summit was filled with heavy thunder, he let out a heavy roar, "Infinite shield." Buzz buzz. There was a slight explosive sound from within his body. When the wild mountain devil unleashed his ability Infinite Shield, Long Fei's body entered into a type of strong shield. Xiao Wudi's fist came flying over. Boom. The Infinite Shield did not move, and Long Fei was not harmed at all. Xiao Wudi's eyes sank, and said, "Impossible, absolutely impossible." While they were talking, Xiao Wudi's fists danced as they rained down on him. Every time he struck out, it was as if he was hitting the air, completely without any strength. The more he fought, the more frightened he became and the more shocked he became. How can this be? How could this be? Impossible. His attacks were completely useless. He was going crazy. He was a war elder realm, and Long Fei was just a war spirit cultivator. How could this be happening? No one could understand. What was going on? Table of contents, everyone was dumbfounded. The corner of Long Fei's mouth hooked up, his two eyes stared straight at Xiao Wudi, and mocked, "Enough, it's my turn now, right? Dragon slaying slash. Boss, go ahead." The third chapter was delivered. There were still 2 days left until the countdown. 8_841923564669. The bedevilment dragon Salia slashed down with one blade. The bedevilment dragon Salia slashed down with one blade. It cut heavily onto Xiao Wudi's shoulder. Open the skin, KCHA. Asterisk the skin was split open and the flesh was lacerated. Aren't you arrogant? You dare be so arrogant for lousy. Long Fei roared out, and the second blade instantly slashed down. Tendon break. Crack. His tendons and veins were broken. Aren't you going to kill me? Come and kill. The anger in Long Fei's heart shot out like a volcano. Break the bones. Crack. The bones split open. Long Fei roared again, "My father didn't kill you back then, and left you with a dog life. You don't know how to cherish it, so just obediently turn into a dead dog." Blood severing. Crack. The blood that was spurting out of Hua's head was suddenly cut down by the blade, as if it was stopping the flow of blood. Divine awakening. Soul shake. Slay. With 3 slashes, the dragon Salia slashed down heavily. The bloodlight and sword chi continued to spurt out, and in the air, one after another strength stripes exploded as they shot out. With the last slash of the slay, Xiao Wudi was smashed to the ground. Long Fei looked down from above, and his body sank, rumble. When he landed on the ground trembled. He moved his left fist and hit the ground with an explosive force, splitting pulse technique. It was a martial skill comprehended by the earth explosion. He punched the ground, and the ground shook violently. And at this moment, Xiao Wudi's body was bounced up, and at this moment. Teleport. Shua. Long Fei's figure disappeared, and with a lift of the dragon Salia, a layer of blade aura swept Xiao Wudi, who was in the air, away. His footsteps jolted. Whoosh. Long Fei held onto his blade with one hand and rushed into the air, roaring, "To dare go against the Long family's army, this is the result. Dragon chop. Kill." The blade aura was released, flames and bloodlight interweaving as they slashed crazily on Xiao Wudi's body. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh, asterisk. Under an entire 200 slashes, Xiao Wudi's body was smashed into pieces, and he was no longer able to move at all. Half of his body fell from the sky, his head rolling on the ground. Long Fei landed on the ground, the dragon Salia swept a circle with its finger, and at the same time, it smashed Xiao Wudi's head with a heavy kick. Fuck, who else? Rumble. 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 Long Fei's voice was like thunder, exploding in the sky. At this moment, he was like a god. God-slaying fist. All the evil spirits retreated, fear rose in their hearts, fear beyond compare. Was this still a human? Long Fei was not a human at all. "I want to go home, Mother. I want to go home." Some of the demons were scared to the point of wetting their pants and quickly ran into the forest. He did not want to see Long Fei again. "I don't want to stay here any longer." Long Fei was definitely not human. "It's the devil." The demon army fled in all directions. Long Fei's dragon Salia shook, and she bellowed, "Where is the Long family army?" "Here." All of the Long family's blood was set ablaze. Too excited. Long Fei's dragon chop was too overbearing. The bloody light and sword aura that erupted from the dragon Salia, as well as the fiery light and sword aura, were almighty and domineering. They were excited, their blood boiling. All of the Long family's troops looked at Xiong Long Fei, and at that moment, Long Fei was the god in their hearts, the existence of the dragon-winged dragon god. Long Fei waved his arms. "Kill, let them know the power of the Long family's troops, and let them know the death of those who violated my dragon's might. Kill, 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 kill." The sounds of killing shook the sky. The Long family's troops were like ferocious beasts. A mere 4,000 people chasing after 50,000 people was simply too gorgeous. What kind of domineering power was this? Long Fei stood in place, looking at Xiao Wudi who had exploded under his feet. He laughed excitedly. "Explode for me. Release the berserk energy." Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Xiao Wudi for obtaining 10 experience points, true breath points, and energy values points. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the divine tiger blood lineage. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Thunder Dragon Rod. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Thunder Dragon Temple Treasure Map 2. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Divine Tiger Body. Do you wish to fuse it? Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, War Spirit level, 9. A series of explosions occurred. Beneath the striking attribute, every single one was a good thing. He did not wait for Long Fei to see the attributes. A notification came from the system. Ding. The Divine Tiger blood lineage is being absorbed by the Dragon Salia. Ding. The Dragon Salia has leveled up to become a Tiger Demon Dragon Salia. Long Fei was shocked, seeing the changes in the Dragon Salia. The energy contained in its body became even stronger. When he killed Xiao Wudi, the Great Demon King released his blood lineage energy, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to cause such a huge injury. This feeling. It felt so good. Just that, Long Fei said enviously, "You can level up just by absorbing blood lineage. I have killed so many demons that have only leveled up. The gap between them is truly too huge." Looking at the experience that leveling up now, at the sight of that long string of zeros, Long Fei had the urge to smash into a wall. How the F*ck are they going to be promoted? Immediately. Long Fei did not care about the matter of leveling up. He rubbed his hands and thought excitedly, let's see what kind of good items dropped first. Weapon, Thunder Dragon Rod Grade, Semigod, Upgradable. Description: Thunder Dragon Temple Staff contains terrifying thunder and lightning energy, kill evil. Description 2, Lightning Speed is extremely heavy, requires 50,000 points of the True Breath's Touch effect. Description 3, Task Item, open the Thunder Dragon Temple item. The Thunder Dragon Rod looked just like the staff that Shaolin Temple's master used. However, it was completely black, with 8 Thunder Dragons interweaving together, raising their heads to look at the pearl. The pearl was transparent, as if it was wrapped in a layer of something. A ball of black chi rolled around inside the small space like the soul of the seal, looking extremely strange. Long Fei said, the semi-artifacts also carry an additional trump card, but what the hell was a quest item? Could it be that this mission can allow it to level up to a holy artifact? Holy artifact and semi-artifact were two completely different concepts. Thunder Dragon Temple's treasure map too? This thing. Long Fei's mind sunk. He immediately thought about the treasure map that he had bought at the Fengyuan Merchant Union's auction, the treasure map of the Thunder Dragon Temple. Could it be that there is more than one treasure map? Or could it be that I need to gather all of the treasure maps in order to find the location of the Thunder Dragon Temple? Holy **T. What kind of existence is the Thunder Dragon Temple exactly? Long Fei's heart tensed up. He had read countless of books in the Long family's book collection vault, but was unable to find any records regarding the Thunder Dragon Temple. Could it be that he is even more mysterious than the dragon race? Forget it. I'll study it when I have time. Thank you, N.I.E., Dead Heart, Sunrise, Phoenix, Poor Heavenly Demon, River of Sorrow, Heart, Chuanfen, Cowman, Brother Kui Has a Temper, I-47, Old Rookie of Kongming, Young Man Dreaming, Fat Brother is Invincible, Crazy Book, Zhuge Liuyun, Shadow, Light Smile, Ching Cheng, Dazhuang, Strange K.A., 0786, A Long Time Gone, Heart With You, Leaves of the Chasing Wind, Time Fading, Loach, Night in Widow's Bed, Shong City, Little Shin, Fan, Gucci, Handsome Man Who Kills Himself, God of Wine, Drunk Liu. Cheng, so much to thank you for supporting the C. 8_8419235640. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.